everybody. Hello, gang. I am Arbitarian, and welcome to this, the 2023 Christmas special, where we are going to do our first ever actual play of a role-playing game. We are going to play the new game from Cubicle 7, who have kindly sent us this, Imperium Maledictum. Yeah, brilliant. Everyone excited about that?
Woo!
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Woo. Yeah, so Imperium Maledictum is the new role-playing game from Cubicle 7. It was released a couple of months ago. Cubicle 7 already publish all of the Warhammer-themed role-playing games. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, that sort of thing. Soulbound, I think, is the Age of Sigmar one, and Wrath and Glory, which is the 40k one. But this was interesting because in this, it's a bit more like some of the older Warhammer 40k role-playing games, because in this, you play agents, pretty low-level agents of an Imperial institution. Investigating minor heresy on various planets. So I have written, we're not using a pre-made thing, I have written a new adventure specifically for the Sanguinalamus period.
Hooray!
Hooray! Everyone feeling, so everyone can be, as you can see, we've decorated our Sanguinalamus grotto with the Sanguinala tree and the traditional 40k Sanguinala skulls. And we've got a special Sanguinalamus adventure that's definitely 100% grim and dark and not very stupid. Yeah. So, without further ado, in case you are not aware of who we all are, let's introduce ourselves. Let's start with Gary.
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm from the Tale of Four Gamers. On Instagram, I'm Forgotten by the Gods. This is my first time role-playing.
First time role-playing at all, right? Like, never have role-played before in your life.
No, I had to get help making my character sheet.
Yes, brilliant. Great. So that'll be fun. Bobbie.
Hi, I'm Bobbie. I'm also on the Tale of Four Gamers series, and you'll know me as Violet Sun on all the social media things.
Yep. But you are an experienced player of roles.
I have played quite a few role-playing games. I've done quite a lot of Dark Heresy. So hopefully I don't start remembering those rules instead of these.
The Dark Heresy was like the precursor. I'm not going to say it's the precursor to this because we're probably not allowed to say that, but it's like a similar style game.
Well, that was specifically inquisitorial retinue, low-level inquisitorial agents.
Yeah.
But yeah, so similar sort of investigating and then blowing up things, I think.
And then Russ. Russ, over to you.
I have played quite a lot of role-playing games as well. Lots and lots of D&D, quite a lot of Wolfrip, but never any role-playing in the 40k universe.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to rely on what I know.
Which we'll get into because that's pretty much the theme of your character. And then we should probably say that, unfortunately, on the end there is an empty space. And that's because it would have been filled by Mira, who I do book club with. Unfortunately, Mira got ill. She came down this morning, did her tests, and therefore could not come. So we are a woman down. Lexica Notabard, her character, will not be joining us today. So we are without our bard.
Not appearing in this film.
Obviously not actually a bard, then that's not what you get in 40k, but her interlocutor will not be joining us. So, as I said, none of us have played this before. We haven't even done a test game, but it's role-playing, right? So you just make it up as you go along. Pretty sure everyone will be okay with that, right?
It's certainly what Ian says goes.
Yeah, basically, that's which is no different to every other time we do one of these things. So yeah, we're gonna play through this game. I've written an extremely serious adventure. I should also say thank you to Cubicle 7 for sending me Imperium Maledictum and the Imperium Maledictum Games Master screen, and accidentally a spare copy of Imperium Maledictum that I'll be giving away on the Patreon after this. So you could win a copy of this book because, we've got loads. So let's begin. The refectorium of the void ship Eternal Taxation is cold. It's always cold. The void of space and STC systems for Imperial heating haven't been updated in a very long time. But it's particularly cold today because despite the vagaries of the International Imperial dating system, and despite the time-dilating effects of the warp, and despite the fact that every planet in the Imperium has its own calendar, in the Imperium, it's Sanguinalamus time. Ooh. The Eternal Taxation is a shoddy old vessel, and it has no space for any grand meeting halls, so you've been summoned here from your modest personal cells by your patron, Ricardo Magentus, who has a transmission for you. The refectorium that you walk into is a medium-sized hall. The low ceilings are lit by strip lights, like dodgy, badly illuminated strip lights. Rusted white bulkheads panel the room, and the tables and chairs are all bolted to the floor by Mechanicus standard rivets, just in case you have any ideas. A plate of hot grox pies, a traditional Sanguinala tide snack, sits forlornly on the central table, where an old and badly maintained hololith projector flashes with an incoming message icon. At the bar is a servitor who is preparing some Amasec hot toddies. For some dimly remembered cultural reason, the servitor wears a headband with 2 little wobbly antlers on it. In front of the bar are 4 Amasec toddies. Who responds to the summons first?
Well, I probably need to get my survival gear ready to bring.
Okay.
In case I have to go somewhere in an emergency.
So Russ, describe to me.
A while.
Yeah, describe. Oh, you're going to be taking a while. Okay,
Yeah.
in that case, I think Bobbie's probably the most eager. Bobbie, describe your character and who enters the refectory.
So my character, Theophania, enters the refectory first.
Yep. What does she look like?
She looks very much like a John Blanche painting,
Right.
covered in quite crude leather armour,
Okay.
although she has a incredibly worn bronze breastplate.
Okay. Good. A noisy bronze breastplate.
Yes,
Bronze
you
breastplate?
hear her coming before she's even in the room.
Right.
because
Brilliant.
of
Yeah.
the metal armour and being festooned with weapons and purity seals and scripture, as say, very John Blanche looking. She'll enter the room and head over to grab one of those inviting toddies.
Inviting Amasec toddies. Go for the toddies, not the hot grox pie. Brilliant. We'll assume then that Russ's character is still getting his stuff ready. So, Gary, who then enters next?
So, my character's name is Gary.
Very simple. Good. Yeah. Good.
And he is a pest control officer on board.
Okay. Brilliant.
He's pretty much knows his place near the bottom. He wears mostly brown clothing to go unnoticed. He's got a bit of a he's got a void suit, but over the top of it, he wears like a sort of cloak to sort of hide his presence.
Okay. It's an extremely bulky cloak.
Yeah. And he's mostly keeps to himself. He's quiet, and he also has a little friend that follows him around from time to time.
Uh-huh. Does the little friend, who is, I believe, a little canid, have a name?
Yeah, it's SK Reps.
SK Reps.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. That is so your character walks in a bulky void suit covered in a cloak with a small dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. The official pest control expert for the Eternal Taxation has entered. And finally, who comes into the room? I should say, hot grox pie or Amasec toddy?
Amasec toddy, please.
Amasec toddy. Off to the Amasec toddy. Brilliant. And who comes in last?
So Hully arrives last. Hull won't shrieked.
Mm-hmm.
He's about 4'10", 4'11".
Yep.
Very thinning hair, watery eyes, otherwise unremarkable. Most remarkable thing is that he has various slings with multiple data slates poking out, a picture footer, specs. There's a multi-key that might fall out of the pocket, picked up. And of course, all of his survival gear, because he might have to go somewhere and he wouldn't want to be trapped anywhere without his survival gear. So as I come in, I'm very sorry, everyone. Very sorry. Didn't mean to keep you waiting. I'm here. Don't worry now. I'm here. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I'm going to bustle over and eat one of the hot dogs pies into the folds of all my slings and eat a hot pie.
Brilliant. Well, we should also say Hully is a squat.
I was gonna let that come from the fact he's 4'10".
Yeah. So Hully is a squat from the Necromunda squats. So Hully will be doing some squatting. There are no rules in Imperium Maledictum for squats. We don't care. There's no rules for dogs either. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. So you all grab a little bit of the victuals, only to notice that obviously on the central table there's a hololith with an incoming message. Anything you want to do before the incoming message comes in?
Straighten my hair and tie my hair up because can we see that it's Ricardo Magenta?
You can't see anything yet. No. It's not active. In the table, there's just a bleeping sign saying, "Please answer. You've got a phone call."
I'll, as the technical expert, not allow Theophania to embarrass herself. So I'll bustle over and see if I can retrieve the incoming message.
Cool. I would say that you don't really need to do a test for that. It's probably fine to do this. Yeah.
I mean, Theophania might.
Theophania would need to do a tech chest, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay, Hully. Okay, so after a few false starts and some ritual strikes on the casing, the hololith crackles into life, a 2-foot-tall column of glitchy energy emanating from the projection lens. Slowly and painfully, an image resolves, and you are greeted by the face of your employer, the Administratum Procurator, Ricardo Magentus. Magentus is a sprightly, middle-aged man. You can't really tell if he's had Rejuvenat work or not, but given the office he works for, probably not. He's employed you all you've been employed by his office, which is the Administratum Office of Minor Clerical Relics and Holiday Affairs. It's the sort of place you end up getting put if you're a bit weird or have nowhere else to go. And you've all fallen into his employ. You've all met him before, but maybe you don't know him that well. He pops up, he's got a shaven head, many rings, and a large and very warm-looking leopard print robe that is absolutely not in any way regulation for the Administratum. And he pops up and he goes, Hello, my employees. Yes. I've been everywhere in the sector looking for things missions to send you on, and I found some great missions for you. Yes, I've been to industrial worlds, and I've been to ocean worlds, and I've been to Aztec worlds, and I've been to medieval worlds, and all of them I've been looking for beautiful sugar crystals. Yes, sugar crystals to make confections for the lovely children of this Sanguinala tide. But there is a problem. Young aspirants, I have a problem. You got this, yeah? Yeah, good. For we are missing some tithe stock has gone missing. You have been deposited out of your warp journey on your first mission in the Yule sector. Just as you can tell, as Sanguinalamus approaches. Unfortunately, the principal planet of the Yule sector, Grubulax XII, has started to fall behind in its tithe. Some of these lovely sugar crystals to feed the children have slowed down their production. The world of Grubulax XII is an interesting world in the Imperium, for it mostly produces small gift items for festivals. Particularly of importance in the world is the candy Sanguinius. The candy Sanguinius, the main export from Grubulax XII at this time. It's full, it's made of lovely, sugary, crystallized candy around a small toy in the center. The children just love, the Imperial Hive Nobles children just love to receive it this day and age. But production has fallen short, which, as we know, is a very grave affair in the Imperium. If production cannot be resumed at its correct levels, then obviously the entire planet will be deemed hereticus and exterminated by the Inquisition. Now, I would like to get involved before such august institutions. As you know, we're a small and minor clerical part of the Administratum, and we need to maybe solve the problem before people like the Inquisition or, God forbid, the Space Marines end up being involved. We wouldn't want that, would we? So it'd be very useful if you could just go down to the planet and find out what's going on and you know, see if there's anything you can do to re-establish the correct tithe amount of candy Sanguiniuses. Yes, any questions?
I'm interested in the candy toys.
The candy Sanguiniuses.
The candy Sanguiniuses.
Yes.
They taste nice.
They're beautiful, so I've been told. I'm very far away on an industrial or ocean world in another sector, so I can't possibly tell you.
And do you have any idea why they've fallen behind? Is it simply they're recidivists, or is there malign influence? I'm
afraid that's what you're here to find out, young adept.
So my character interjects and says, "This doesn't seem like it's my job."
Unfortunately, when you took the role as my adept, everything becomes your job. Yes. Though I'm sure maybe the problem is an outbreak of vermin.
Unlikely.
It's possible.
Have we got a shuttle to take us there?
Well, in the landing bay, you will find a brilliant and well-maintained Arvus lighter that you can use to transport yourselves around. I believe one of you has some sort of piloting skill. You do, Gary. You have some piloting skill.
Do I?
Yeah, no, yeah, you do. So yeah, that can happen.
A capable pilot. Yeah.
Good. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have tasked us with such an important role
Exactly right.
in maintaining such an important festivity as Sanguinala.
Exactly, Sanguinala. What do you? I should say, what do you all know? But just out of character slightly. What do you all know about Sanguinala?
Well, it's the equivalent of some big festival back in ancient Earth.
Yeah, it's kind of the equivalent of Space Easter.
Yeah.
But we're going to make it Space Christmas.
Space Easter.
It is sort of Space Easter, but that's no fun, so we're going to make it Space Christmas. Yeah, but I'm assuming that in world you all know what Sanguinala is. Anyway, back to being Richard Ricardo Magentus, yes. Any other questions, adepts?
So, does this shuttle have autopilot?
It probably has a servitor in it or something.
I believe I can manage to press 1 or 2 buttons.
Yeah, you've got a piloting skill, Gary. You're going to be fine.
It's 44. That's less than 50% success rate.
I think you only have to test if you're doing something difficult. I think we'll all assume you can pilot a spaceship.
Right.
Do you, Mr. Magentus, sir, do you have any contacts that you can point us to the planet, sir?
Personally, I have no contacts anywhere. You're there to investigate on my behalf, but I can give you some information now you've asked.
Okay.
Of the last known people who might be able to help you. There are 3. Hold on.
3?
Yeah, there are 3. I've written 3 different contacts for you any of which you might wish to explore. You see, the main contact from the Adeptus Ministorum on the site is Confessor Carolus. Confessor Carolus, who is in charge of sanctifying the candy Sanguiniuses whenever they are made. In turn, they employ the services of Majos Mints, who makes the toy Primarchs that live inside each of the candy Sanguiniuses.
Toy Primarchs?
Toy Primarchs, yes. The tradition on the world of Grubulax XII and all the other worlds of the sector, of the Yule sector, is that children will be given, of the Hive Nobles, obviously, not shit children, they'll be given one of the candy Sanguiniuses on Sanguinala Tide until their 9th birthday, when they ritually enter the workforce anyway. And if they're lucky, they'll manage to capture all of the 9 holy Primarchs. The 9 holy Primarchs, of which there are 9. 9 Primarchs.
Only 9.
Yes, only 9. That's all you know. We don't work for the Inquisition. 9 Primarchs.
There are only 9 Primarchs.
There are only 9 holy Primarchs. And the 9th one is Sanguinius. And the last contact is the Chartist-operated shipping depot that stores the stock of candy Sanguiniuses, the Arbusto Merchants Guild. So any of those may be involved. I don't know which. That's your job, I'm afraid. So, yeah, you should go and find out, really, shouldn't you? Yes, brilliant. I'll offer tea with Mumsy, and you can all go in the shuttle down to the planet, shan't we?
Yes.
Brilliant. Well done. Try not to fuck it up. I'll see you on the other side of Sanguinala. Must have a lovely, lovely festive period. And whatever you do, don't let the planet get obliterated by the Inquisition. With that, the message beacon that we're never completely sure is a pre-recorded message or not, but let's assume it isn't. The phone call goes dead. The hololith projector goes quiet. And all that's left is 1 Amasec on the bar and a plate full of hot grox pies.
There's no minced grox in the grox pies.
I don't believe that it's only really bad quality grox pies that actually have actual grox in.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to eat those.
So I think my character thinks if he's going to be piloting a lander, which he didn't expect to be doing today when he woke up, he's going to take the other Amasec and quickly drink it, because it may be his last.
Your character's not hungover, is he?
Slightly hungover.
Gary's character might be slightly hungover today.
Gary's character might be slightly
hungover today. So you're all clear about the mission you're on then? Absolutely. Very important. Obviously, if the candy Sanguiniuses do not get delivered to the children of the Yule sector, the entire planet must therefore be heretic. Obviously. What else could they possibly be? So what's next then? What do you want to do?
I need to check through my survival gear to check sure I've got it all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have you?
Have we met before? Three of us?
Yeah.
I assume we've met before as agents of Ricardo Magentas.
I think it's all your first go at being agent. Actually, you know what? I've made you all little links. One of the things in Imperium Maledictum is that when you're generating a character, you have connections. And you all have connections to each other, except one of you might have connections to Mira's character, isn't here anymore. And you all have a connection to Magenta. So yes, let's assume that you've all met each other before, though we do not know how many missions you've all served together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm ready to go. I'll meet you down in the landing bay when you're all ready.
Great.
I leave the room with my dog.
Well, if we're going to be investigating potential heretics, I shall go and fetch some additional flamer ammunition.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I need to get some important stuff as well. I'll meet you at the lander.
Okay, so you've established that you've now got all the Hox supplies. You all go back to your private, modest, and basically extremely threadbare and minimal personal cells to collect your equipment, and then meet down at the landing bay. The landing bay of the what the hell did I call this? Eternal taxation is extremely sparse and very cold because of space. On it sits an extremely battered Arvus lighter from the ship's transport bay. You know there are other transports on the ship, but you never get to use any of those. There are also other agents somewhere on the ship that you never get to meet those either. You know there are other things on the ship. I should also say that you've also got some stuff while you're preparing. I should say that you also get some stuff based on who your patron is. As you know, Ricardo Magentas is something of a eccentric and well-travelled collector of ornamental gifts, and he has a patron sheet which will let you, which it tells you what useful things he gives you. I don't know how much you've all read of this, but just so that you know, Ricardo Magentas has some bonuses in influence with the Administratum and the Imperial fleet. That would be useful if you ever have to deal with those people. We should say for this, the police, for some reason in this game, are the Administratum. So the Arbite's the Administratum, technically correct. Magentas also is a bit of a micromanager, so he might be back in touch. You might see Magentas again at some point, though he does like speaking in rhyme as well, so that will very much depend on how good I become at doing that. He's very good at organising transportation for you, as you can see. He also has, you have the duty boon tithe inspection. So once, during each mission, you can request that your patron have their faction make an inspection of a place or person, possibly led by Administratum adepts, overseers, and vigiles, and you can accompany them. So that is the boon you get from having a Administratum patron is that once on this mission, you may request an inspection of the premises. Okay, but you all regather in the cargo bay and load onto the white and blue, extremely battered, painted Arvus lighter. The Arvus lighter has in insignias written down on the side of it as a serial number. Its serial number is FR05-TY. -TY. Yes.
Give it some sort of nickname, like Krusty or nice little safe Arvus lighter. Yeah.
Well, where would you? What would you like to do? Who's driving? What do you want to do? How's this going then? Come on, you've got all the information. What's next? Come on, do some role playing.
So let's. Are you driving us to the planet then, Gary?
I think before we even think about that, we should probably do pre-flight safety checks. Let's have a look at this.
This is the man with 2 Amasecs in him.
Yep. So I think we need to locate the control panels.
Yep, they're in front of you.
Right.
It's a standard control panel, standard Arvus lighter control panel. You're very familiar with it.
Shall I go around and kick the tyres?
That sounds like a good idea. Give things a wobble, see if they fall off.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm going to check if anything falls off when I yank it.
Yeah, why don't you do a let's see how for the purposes of learning how this game works, we will explain as we go. Why don't you do a check on, I believe that's probably going to be your tech ability.
Okay.
So the way this works in Imperium Maledictum, if you didn't know, we'll do this now for the benefit of everybody. Imperium Maledictum works on a percentile system. We've all the character sheets. You've all got scores and things. All your scores are terrible, and usually between 30 and 40. The rule is that you roll a percentile dice, so a D100, and you're trying to get under your number to succeed. If the task is easy, I'll give you a bonus. If the task is hard, I'll give you a penalty. And then if you're, depending on how many 10s you beat or don't beat it by, is how well you do the task. So for this, Sally will be using Hully, a different squat, will be using their tech skill, which is
55.
55. That's actually quite good for you three.
Got in anything.
Yeah, that might be.
Miller.
Yeah, I am slightly better at chopping things to bits.
Right,
Okay.
brilliant. Okay, so try for your tech score.
And I'm just rolling under 55.
Under 55.
I rolled 28.
28. You can tell that the Arbus Lighter, while old, is in serviceable shape. Like, it should fly you down to the planet.
It's
Yeah.
a beaut.
She's a beaut.
Job.
She's a reliable workhorse. Old. What's your name for it? For FR05TY?
Ham.
Pam is a brilliant workhorse Arbus Lighter that'll definitely get you down. Now, where would you like to go?
All right.
Well, will we be directed? Presumably, we'll be directed to a spaceport anyway, and we won't have a choice, will we?
I haven't thought of that. You can just go where you like, I think.
Well, I was thinking.
Well, I believe we should visit the Confessor first. As a member of the Ministorum, he will be most likely to give us an honest answer.
Okay.
Yeah, still not my job. So I'll follow you along.
Brilliant.
The sooner we
Okay.
get this done, the better.
So we're going off to the Confessors, are we?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right. So you get the coordinates of Confessor Carolus from the data banks you've been sent over by Ricardo Magentus, and you start your flight. The battered lighter descends to the surface of Grubulax XII, the capital city and only city of Grub, which is located near but not exactly on the North Pole
Right.
of the planet. Yes, it's winter all the time at the North Pole of Grub. As you leave the hangar bay and you traverse the void, you can see massive like fleet tenders and barges in orbit being slowly loaded by smaller craft like yours, loaded full of sanguinalous treats. As you descend, like very bumpily through the atmosphere, you then see Grub itself. It's like a sprawl of low-rise habs and shipping warehouses blanketed under glistening white snow, apart from in certain areas where it's sort of glistening brown snow. The Undercity, there's an Undercity, you can dimly see the lights of an Undercity below the main thoroughfares. And there's hyperhighways linking all these hab blocks and overpasses. It's like a very spread out, low-level hive. The cold down there actually looks really inviting because the inside of the Arvus is getting really heat shielding. Isn't what it used to be. So yeah, you head, obviously, you follow the coordinates and go directly to the Cathedral of St. Nikolai. The lander touches down on the carefully manicured gardens of the Cathedral of St. Nikolai the Jolly, one of the city's lesser cathedrals. Its arched Gothic architecture, painted black and making it stick out against the white snow. As you descend, you see the gardens are carefully cultivated with evergreens and ornamental frozen lakes through which swim strange-looking fishes.
Strange how.
They're strange-looking.
Strange.
Strange looking fishes, yeah. Preachers and choir boys are everywhere, filling in requisition forms, directing like delivery services. There's servitors arriving with big crates. All the servitors, for some unknown cultural reason, are wearing headbands with little antlers on. And it's clear that there are preparations for some sort of event. As you descend and land, everyone looks around a bit confused and then goes back to work because there's landers and shipments and cargo eights turning up all the time. Yep. Good.
Well, it appears that there's plenty of action here.
Yep.
Can't see that the Ministorum would be in any fault. But let us find the Confessor. Maybe one of the preachers will know where he is.
Yeah, there's lots of them flapping around. Yeah, there's loads of them just flapping around.
Okay, do we see a landing spot?
Yeah, you've landed. I mean, I'm assuming that you've just landed in the middle of the ornamental gardens.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, and everyone's now flapping around.
Business.
You are an important business.
And I think we should actually tell everyone that every opportunity. So, as you're clearly going to fit in here, I think you have tried to find a deacon or something.
Yeah, I'll try and find someone who looks sort of important but isn't too busy.
Okay,
a
right.
middle manager.
A middle management preacher we're looking for. Right, okay, yeah. Good. There's loads of them. They're running around everywhere. One of them comes up and is like, do you have permission to park there? That's how he's going to talk. Whoever this person we just invented is. You have permission to park there? You know, there's an important Sanguinalis event going on.
We're very, very aware of this. We are, in fact, here on important Sanguinalis business.
Important Sanguinala business? Well, you know, it's an indeterminate amount of time until Sanguinala itself, you know. We haven't got long.
Indeed, this is why it's important business, as we do not know how much time we have left.
No one knows how much time we have left in the Imperium right now. You can't tell the time in the Imperium, as we all know.
We have important business with the Confessor.
Oh, with the Confessor Carolus. Ah, I see. Yes. What important business? She's very, very busy at the moment in choir practice. I don't know what this voice is, but this is what he sounds like. Yeah,
I'm imagining Kermit the Frog in robes.
Preacher Kermit. I'm Preacher Kermit. And
I'll lean in a little closer. It is about the shortfall in the Sanguinius treats.
Oh, very, very important. I see. Yes. Do you have additional Sanguinius treats to make up the shortfall?
No, we are here to investigate where the treats have gone.
Oh, okay. Very important. And you're from the Ministorum, are you? You're from our very important compatriots in the Ministorum, yes? That's what I care about.
One of the most important departments.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
Indeed, we are here on specific holiday business.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm now Yoda. Going a bit Yoda this. All right, fine. Okay.
It's green. That's what matters.
He's green. Could be Kermit, could be Yoda. Fine. Oh, so you're on to do the... Where's he from? Okay, fine.
You're going to edit this later on.
No. He sort of vaguely, very busily goes, well, I need to get you off the lawn because this is where one of the giant statues of Sanguinius will go. But if you can be quick about it, Carolus is in the large cathedral over here. And he gestures over to the massive black cathedral covered in picturesque snow.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Is Deacon Kermit accompanying us, or are we heading there on our own?
No, he's like way too busy to accompany you. He sort of bustles off in a load of paperwork.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we leave the lander, I think we should secure it, close the doors.
Okay.
Because this guy didn't seem happy and I don't want it to be towed.
Okay, you don't want your lander to be towed.
No.
All right, fine. Yeah, good. Cool. I'm assuming that you can just do that.
Right, so
Brilliant.
we've
Okay.
done that.
Right, so the building
Yeah, this is
where
like a
the
large
choir
thing.
practice is going on.
Yeah.
Can we?
You can hear the sounds of
straight in?
choir
Is there
practice.
anything stopping us going in?
There's no. I mean, I may imagine it's a cathedral, so you're gonna have to look like a proper imperial.
I'll make all the necessary
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
two-headed eagle gesture.
Yeah.
actually, it's this.
This.
This is the
this
Aquila.
way?
Yeah, it's that. That's the Aquila, and that's the cog.
Okay.
Mechanical, yeah.
Well, we don't need it.
No, you don't.
We
No.
just need the Aquila.
Yeah, I mean, as you're walking through the grounds, you get some side-eyed looks because obviously you're a filthy
Every time anyone
abhuman.
gives me a side-eyed look, I will show.
Yeah, they're all side-eyed looking at you, and you're like, yeah, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, definitely very good. Right, okay, and you come up to the doors. Okay, fine. So we go in.
Do I know any Sanguinala hymns?
Yeah.
Hum some
Do you want to find? You're going to hum
like
some.
15.
Okay, right. Let's see how well that goes. What would that be a test for? Okay, right.
Law test?
Law test, probably a law test for like how good your sanguinaling goes.
Would that just be a general law test, or would it fall under Adeptus Terra?
It's probably not Adeptus Terra. No, I think it's a general law test.
So, general law test. Now, this is my second best stat, so I need to roll under 50.
Right.
So, black first. I rolled 91.
91. So you're going to sing all the different. You're singing all the Sanguinalibus hymns, but wrong and very, very out of tune.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's going
They're
to.
instead quite bawdy.
You've accidentally started singing bawdy Candlemas music hall songs, which you were completely convinced off-world are Sanguinalibus hymns.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, great. That's going to affect the next interaction.
Can I also see if I can
You're gonna
join?
do the
See if
same?
I can work out which hymn they're actually singing in the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Yeah. So do your test, please. You have advantage because you're in a storm.
Okay, so
advantage.
41.
Which means
Will be 14 at the end.
yeah. So advantage in this game means that when you roll the two dice, you can, if you want, if you have an advantage, which I can randomly just give out, you swap the two numbers around.
Mm-hmm.
So you rolled a 41.
Yeah.
Which is
14.
14.
Which is
Yeah. So you can tell the sound of Gothic plain song comes from inside the cathedral, and you can tell it's the famous traditional Christmas sanguinala. The traditional children's sanguinalimus. Yeah, no one knows what Christmas is. Sanguinalimus carol, heretic King Wenceslas.
Ah.
Yeah, telling of the heretic believer in the wrong gods who was crucified by who looked out on the feast of Sanguinalalimus. Yeah. That's the one.
I'll as I know the hymnal, I will join in using my loud hailer, trying to blank out the sound of the squat singing about who knows what.
At this point, I distance myself from the other two, try to pretend that I am not with them. So I take my dog off to the side of the door and I follow maybe 10 feet behind.
Okay, fine.
Am I seeing the Sanguinala equivalent? We three Kings of Orient are one in a taxi, one in a car.
Yeah, like you're doing like Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Yeah,
that's what you're singing. That's the Sanguinala equivalent of Jingle Bells.
Bells, Gulliman Smells.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Whereas you're loudly through a loud hailer, walking into a choir practice, singing along.
Okay.
So this is just to get you. That's the picture. Into the cathedral you march. One of you singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, and the other one singing good heretic King Wenceslas in tune through a loud hailer. And the last hanging 10 feet behind. Brilliant. As you go in, the cathedral is very brightly lit inside. It's golden. It's lit by the light of 1,000 glow globes. The sound of Gothic plain song is everywhere, particularly coming out of your loud hailer. In the centre of the room, you can see a middle-aged woman in the robes of a senior confessor leading a choir of servitors in a rendition of the children's Christmas carol, children's Sanguinalimus carol, heretic King Wenceslas. Dimly obeying some long and forgotten custom, all the servitors are wearing headbands with tiny little wobbly antlers on them.
We knock them off, we get in trouble.
I mean, I'm not going to answer that unless you want to do it. You walk down the long nave to get the theatre, at which point you end up just behind the back Carolus has her back to you, or at least this woman who we don't know who it is yet has their back to you. And as you approach, she stops, quietens the servitor, turns around and goes, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that awful noise?" Where shall she be from? Pick a place for Carolus to be from. Oh, sorry, no, she doesn't say it. She says the following. She turns around and says, I've written this and I know what I'm doing. What the hell is that awful noise?
Oh,
That was me just singing along with the carols.
I'll bow in deference.
Okay.
Great Confessor, we have come on important holiday business. Did not mean to interrupt your exquisite sermon to the Emperor.
Blasphemy, she says. Blasphemy! Dost thou not know the requirements of Sanguinala, Moss?
I think we should all be singing all of the time.
You want to do some sort of test to see if you know the rules of Sanguinalamus? Now, the way this works, you can't both do it. So who's going to do it? One of you can help the other, though.
So
if you have skill in the thing you're doing, you can help the other.
I'll whisper something helpful to Bobbie that I would know from my law.
Okay, right. You're going to assist Bobbie, who now gets to test her law with advantage.
Which is good, because 26, my law is 33.
You are, as you are well aware, during Sanguinalamus, all contact with the Ministorum on Grubulax XII should be conducted in plainsong. For the purposes of this, because I'm not sure, it means talking like this all the time.
Now, is it enough to try, or should we actually get it correct?
Depends if you need to make a test at any point, Ross. Yeah, good. So, let's just continue with that encounter, shall we? Blasphemy! Dost thou not know the requirements of Sanguinalamus?
Forgiveness, great Confessor. I am from a distant sect of the Imperial Creed. We are here on important Sanguinalis business.
Go on!
We are here about the shortfall in the candied Sanguiniuses.
Heresy! Thou art not members of the... do you represent an legitimate interest of the Ministorum?
We are here on the behalf of the Administratum.
Oh, what have the Administratum got to do with this?
Like all tithes, unfortunately, such business falls under their jurisdiction.
How long can we keep this going?
Unfortunately, we have reason to believe that there is a problem further along the supply chain from here, but we need to prove everything is okay here before we can implicate the rest of the supply chain.
I'll have you know that the Ministorum have done everything in their power to make sure the tithe is not stopped. It would be heresy to suggest otherwise.
We know that, but we must demonstrate it to our patron.
How does your patron have the authority to investigate us?
As a member of the Administratum. Keep doing that. As a member of the Administratum, he is overall responsible for the distribution of your wonderful and impeccably formed candied sweet.
Okay, so I assume you're trying to persuade her to believe you. Does anyone have influence with the Ministorum?
Thankfully, I do.
Okay, so
Only a single point.
I assume what you're trying to do here.
Trying to get the Confessor to point us in the direction of where the obvious heretics may be.
Obvious heretics?
I mean, while she may not wish to admit it, there's obviously a problem in the supply chain. And
well, absolutely.
I think we need to work from the angle of trying to prove that everything's okay here. So we need to sort of say, look, what are the crucial points that if someone wanted to disrupt things, they might actually this to disrupt it. So we can prove no one's doing that because we know, obviously, that you wouldn't dream of anything interrupts the process, but we need to demonstrate that because we do not want to find ourselves in a situation of having to institute. Hang on, I need to think this through whether how to do. We don't want to be in the situation of having inspection.
Oh
But we shouldn't say that. We shouldn't, because that would sound too obvious. Like, unfortunately, we unfortunately are in a situation that if we can't prove it, we might have to a tithe inspection led by overseers and lights and like.
Oh right, so you're threatening her.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to make it a threat. I'm going to make it very clear that we don't.
We're just here to tick the boxes.
We're just here to tick
as
box
the
exercise.
Ministorum. That's their holy writ, is to tick all the boxes for the Emperor.
Right.
Because we don't want to do that.
Okay, so good. I still think that's intimidation, which I believe is a skill. Is intimidation a skill?
I think we would have rapport. Maybe.
It would be rapport, wouldn't it? Yeah.
There's
Yeah, it is a specialisation. Yeah, it's presence actually is intimidation.
25.
Yeah. So what I'd like you to do then is who's doing this?
See, I'm 33, so
Okay.
I'm probably the best, and I've got the
You've got influence with the Ministorum.
Ministorum rep. So
Okay, so you're going to attempt to essentially scare her into telling you things. All right, okay,
we'd
go
hate
for it.
Sanguinalis to be delayed.
Oh yes, well we'd all hate Sanguinalis to be delayed because of course everyone gets killed if that's the case. Yeah. So please.
Oh, that's not a good roll.
No.
99.
84.
84.
So 48.
So 48. What's your
33.
33?
So if I've got my one Ministorum success
you got
level,
one
so I
Ministorum
just
success level.
sort of failed.
You just slightly failed. Okay.
4 levels.
Okay, brilliant. So this is how she goes. She goes, how dare you threaten the Ministorum on such a holy time? The delayed shipments are nothing to do with us. We suggest you look into either the Mechanicum who build the toys or the Arbuster warehouse, whatever the other one was. Of course, the heretics who did this must be brought to justice, but this is the job for someone else and not me. Yeah, I know, right? I'm running out of how to do it. Was this a good idea to put in? Anyway.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Of course, great Confessor, it is not your fault this travesty against the Emperor is being perpetuated.
A travesty it is, a travesty against Sanguinius himself, the holy 9th Primarch of the only 9 Primarchs. There are only 9 of them.
We shall investigate the other departments required to produce these candies and will punish any wrongdoers we find.
That sounds like the sort of thing she'd like. Yes, I'm pretty sure that I am most sure that the heretics who must have done this will be brought to justice eventually. They cannot be allowed to disrupt the Sanguinalamus parade, which we are so preparing for, which is in a number of indeterminate days. Days.
I will personally assure these heretics meet the Emperor's justice and lift out my flame pistol.
Oh, that sounds like the sort of thing she'd like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, whichever the heretics are, I'm sure they will be brought to see the mercy of the God Emperor. Do you have any more questions?
We think she's the sort of person that might actually promise to bring them back here so that she can do the punishment for the heretics. That she might actually help us yet.
Yeah, we haven't established if she's at fault. She could just be bluffing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, do we actually just go somewhere else and come back here if the other two don't work out? No.
Unfortunately, my character sees no fault here at all. So if you wish to press the matter further...
Yeah, shall we? I think we're kind of done here without trying to push our luck a little. If we need to, we can always come back and tithe inspection if we have to.
Mm.
Enforce a tithe inspection. Yeah.
We could do it right now, but we might need it somewhere where it's even more important.
Yeah, let's go to the other ones.
Okay. Well, all right, fine. What have you learnt from the Confessor? I'm doing some role playing like things.
You.
No, don't trust me. Yeah, apart from that, totally planned all this. Yeah.
What have we learned? We've learned that she might just be a fussy busybody who doesn't like people doing with her business. Might be trying to hide. Heresy.
Yeah, she is quick to accuse.
Yeah, but she would be Church of the Holy God Emperor. So I'm going to guess she would. What?
Accusing's what they do best.
Yeah, they do a lot of accusing. Yeah.
We've learned that it is very busy there. I mean, I suppose one thing I would think about, actually, now that we're in the church, I want to reflect on the outside of the church.
Yeah.
Did it look well organised, or did it look like she's loyal but incompetent and actually can't run a Sanguinala festival in Sanguinala Cathedral?
Sanguinala festivals change wherever you go, but this one looks reasonably competently organised. Like they're definitely planning for something, whatever this big for Sanguinala parade is.
Right, okay.
She was singing and stuff, doing her job.
That is probably her job.
Yeah. Well, let's hope she's not a heretic. Let's assume that she's competent and hope she's not a heretic.
Okay.
Yes. How would we? It's the Ministorum. They can't be at fault. Surely. Brilliant. Okay. So, you go back out into the grounds. Obviously, everyone is still bustling around.
Before we leave, I'm going to take one of the reindeer Bobbie things.
Oh, off the servitor.
Yeah.
Okay. Clever.
I'm going to put it on my dog, make it more festive.
Okay. Good.
So hopefully it'll be slightly distracting as we go around. People will be like, oh, look at the little...
Okay. Very clever. Okay.
I'm curious whether Theophania thinks that's appropriate for a dog to be wearing the symbol of Sanguinala, or... sorry, not dog, for Canaan to be wearing
Canaan, no dogs.
A symbol of Sanguinala, or whether it's open to all speakers.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, Canaanites are from Holy Terror.
They are, that's true.
So, yeah, I think we're okay.
It does make it look a lot happier as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you do that. Yeah, you've taken some of the antlers headbands that people have for undeterminate reasons have lost dimly in the past and put them on your little dog.
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, great. What else would you like to do?
Well, I think if we come back, what we could do is have one character speak to her while the other two snoop around. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But right now, in front of her, we shouldn't do anything.
Okay. I'm assuming you leave the cathedral and go back out into the grounds?
Yeah.
You've stolen a... Hold on, where did you steal... Hold on, which servitor do you steal these from? The packing ones in the ground or the ones singing the choir?
The ones singing in the choir.
I mean, I'm afraid, Gary, that's definitely going to have to be some sort of stealth check, because I'm pretty sure she's not going to like that.
Right. What is my stealth? 44. I was 10 feet away, so that's got to be...
You were going around the edges. I'll give you, since she is distracted talking to you, I will give you advantage on the stealth check to steal the reindeer's antlers from one of the servitors.
Okay, so 44. And I've got 45.
45.
Yeah, which is a minor failure.
Which is a minor failure. You do have advantage though, so it could be 54.
That would be a worse.
Which is worse failure.
Yes. So you fail.
She notices me taking them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Have she said anything yet?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we'll do. She notices you. It's obvious that the other servitors, at least, notice you take the helmet, and the servitor sort of reaches out and puts it back on his head. so you don't get it. That's right. What happens. Yeah, but it's not a bad enough failure for you to have jeopardized further your terrible rolls on persuading Confessor to help you.
My dog looks very upset now.
Oh.
It's been taken off him. Back on him.
Very good.
Servitor.
Good. Well, yeah. So there's things that you know. There are still many people bustling around the gardens. They're now putting up like big statues of Sanguinius. There's some like servitors in reindeer hairs are all trying to level up this big statue of Sanguinius. Preachers and choir boys are bustling around everywhere. Don't know why the choir boys aren't singing really, but you know, it turns out that's a job for servitors.
What does choir boy even mean? It's probably just an archaic term.
That's probably like a fucking baby with a Vox grill shoved on its face, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, there's probably some flying babies flying around as well. Yeah. That's all happening.
Right.
What next, people?
Right.
I've described you. This is how role-playing works. I've described to you the situation. Now you tell me what to do.
Right, let's fly. I think we should fly next to the Chartist King place
As a
heretical,
next on
which
the
of course is the same.
next in the chain of.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So let's do that.
Right.
Shall
Brilliant.
we? Okay.
Okay, next location.
Dun, dun,
Dun dun dun. Your lander speeds across the outskirts of the city through endless terminals, landing pads, and strange plazas that make up the industrial zone. Following the directions provided by your patron, one warehouse becomes apparent amongst the sprawl, a standard STC pattern storage unit with the signs of new building and scorch marks along its side. It has a wide landing plaza and the sigil of the Arbusto Merchants Guild displayed on the front. A strange brown plant with a wide stem and some sort of green fluff around the top. You've never seen anything like it. At the front of the building is a sign in Gothic that reads Customer Services. There are some large, closed loading bays down the left side of the building, and that's also where some of the scorch marks are.
Well,
I'm assuming that you've landed and parked in the car park at the front. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which there is one of.
lighter part.
The lighter part, the Cargo 8 park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we have a look at these scorch marks to see what the origin of the scorch marks are as well? Is that...
How would we do that? Wander over and look at them.
Wander over there, yeah. Okay, so you're wandering around the side of the building. All three of you get out the lander. There's no one around. It's very deserted. This is it's just a zone of shipping warehouses. Yeah. That's all it is. And I assume you wander around down the side of the building. And yeah, you approach a bit. There's 4 or 5 large loading portals that would fit a lander, like a standard, cargo shuttle. And in the first 2, there's black scorch marks around some of the edges. And then it's obvious that there's been new building has been filled in, the wall has been rebuilt at some point. Almost as if there was a lot of damage to one of the portals. Yeah, or fire or something
of a
like that.
raid.
Possibly, does it look very recently?
It looks like it looks pretty new. The bit that is the bit that's rebuilt looks a lot less dusty and crap than the sort of plascrete that's been rebuilt. It looks new, as in but it's concrete, right? So it could mean it's a week or a month, or a year. It definitely looks much newer than the rest. Yeah.
I think first we should find out if any of the doors are open. Stuff like that. Make a plan once we know if it's all locked up. Or
I was thinking, go to the you want one of us to go in before we even go to those steps.
Yeah, just see what's happening in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can try that, can't we?
Okay. So at the moment, all of the doors seem locked. They are locked. There's no obvious. There's some little next to the big portals. Obviously, there's some little entrance doors, human-sized entrance doors or large human-sized entrance doors. They're locked at the moment.
Are they locked with a mechanical key or with
an electronic key?
So I'll whip out my multi-key.
Ah, yes, you have a multi-key.
From my slings.
Yeah.
Right, do we want to go in yet?
It seems to make sense. We see what looks like damage to the outside. There's obviously something going on. Before we start getting other people aware of our presence, the idea to just see if these buildings are empty, because if they're empty, then there's nothing here to find out, is there?
You can use a multi-key in combination with the dexterity. We're just setting up our dexterity lock picking. So dexterity, basically, to bypass locks of Imperial design.
Oh, here we go. That is 12.
12. You instantly, and without anyone noticing, deactivate the lock on one of the cargo doors nearby. You look around furtively, and it doesn't look like anything has happened.
Okay.
So the door is now open.
I'll I'm there, so I might as well. I won't go in noisily. I won't particularly sneak, but I will go in a sort of
furtive-ish way. Okay, brilliant. Anyone else going to?
I think both of you guys should go in, and I'll stay by the door, make sure no one else comes along.
I am far from stealthy, so I won't be sneaking in.
Okay, maybe you should watch the door. And we'll
I will watch the door.
Make sure no one bothers us.
Drop anything.
As you can actually hear me coming from a fair distance away.
Because of your noisy breastplate?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I shall go in as well.
Right, okay, brilliant. So you go in. It's huge. Huge warehouse, and it's full of crates, like standard Imperial crates of various things on various racks. You can see up in the rafters little tiny red lights flying about. And you can hear like the sound of like tracked conveyance from like a few shelving units away. Yeah.
In an Amazon warehouse.
You're in the Arbusto Merchants Guild warehouse, yes.
Yeah. So we're in one big. All the doors went to the same room anyway.
Yeah, so it's obvious that. So what you've walked into is one mega shipping warehouse, and the doors down the side were like you can see where the 4 loading bays were, and the little doors for people to go through.
Okay.
And you can hear the sound of like tracks as you poke your head through. You can hear the sound of like tracked conveyance coming around, and like maybe like forklifts like that sort of forklifts happening, and up above that you can just see some little like pinpricks of red light zooming around.
I'm going to take out my Auspex scanner and plug it into my data slates so that I can try and see if what types of things are around.
Oh, interesting.
Beyond just there are red lights up there.
So using an Auspex scanner as an action reveals energy, life signs, movement, and other data within medium range, which is that far, potentially revealing hidden creatures. Good. So you need to do a So you don't really need to test for that. It does things between medium range. You notice immediately that there are within medium range there are 2 like minor electronic devices like which read that are moving around. It's really small things with like optics and things like that. And then you can also locate on the ground floor within about 15 to 20 meters away, probably behind some shelving, where some of the sounds are coming from. You've got like semi-human life signs, like the sort that would be a servitor, probably. Yeah, so you've got some life signs that sound like servitors.
Okay.
All the shelving around us, they've got boxes and stuff.
Yeah, boxes and crates on it, so you can't see through it. You can. Yeah.
We should probably open one to have a look and see what they're moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just check if it is what we're looking for or if it's something else.
Okay, brilliant. Cool. So do you want to do, what should we do? We should probably do a stealth check to see if you can get through without anything noticing.
Yeah.
So obviously no one knows you're there yet, so I think I'll give you advantage on the stealth check.
Yep.
So we're going to do, what we'll do is we know that it's there, so we're going to make it an easy stealth check to get over. Nothing can see you, nothing's nearby. Make sure you just don't do anything.
How much plus is
an easy stealth check would be, that's a routine. Routine is like plus 20.
Okay.
So my stealth rating is 44.
38.
Good, so you have stealth.
I have advantage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 38.
Blues are 10. 100.
100? Hold on, you can reverse that to be 0.
Can you actually make it 0? Or is it 1?
Well, it'd be 1, wouldn't it? Reverse on the advantage would be 1.
You flip the dice, don't you?
Yeah. So it'd be 0-1.
0 is 0.
Which is...
What?
Well,
I think it's 100.
It's 100 or 0-1, right?
It's also a fumble because it's a double.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a bad fumble.
Okay. Very good point. Let's decide, because it's funnier, that was a critical failure. You walk into the room. Holly scampers into the room, looking carefully around and getting all the way up to the crate. And then Gary also, in his massive, bulky void suit, clambers into the room, trips over, smashes his shotgun across the thing, accidentally sets fire to it. The shotgun goes bang in the air. And suddenly you hear little, very far in the distance, you hear a little beep, 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 beep. And a swarm of servo drones starts to descend towards your position. You get picked out by little red lights, and you suddenly see 2 servo skulls coming down and scanning the area nearby.
Right, do we run or do we shoot? Or do we shout for the Athenians to come and save us?
As we all have Vox speeds, I will, hearing the commotion coming from outside, what are you feffing idiots up to already?
Oh, crap.
Well, these things have only heard a noise. They've come to investigate. We could still maybe leave.
Well, you have started a fire as well, though, haven't you?
You just shot your shotgun into the air, which is another thing. So as you're having this discussion, you hear the clomp of metal legs, and two servitors start to round the corner, scanning for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
They appear to be armed.
They are armed with like servitor glory arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just stay back. They're slow.
Yeah. I do have smoke grenades, which we could, and then leave. Or like Batman.
Presumably by now we're on camera.
By this point, since you've been chatting, the servo skulls have now locked onto you and are hovering around you. There's now definitely blooping things. They don't have any weapons. And the servitors sort of locate you and start clomping towards you.
I'm going to say in an authoritative tone of voice with my presence of 29.
Yeah.
Fetch your administrator immediately. This is all highly irregular.
Your voice doesn't have any immediate effect as the servitors clomp their way towards you.
Let's back away.
Roll for... I'm going to say roll for initiative, but you don't do that in this game. So the servitors clomp into view at the end from around the crates. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you all on this board to show you where you're standing. And then there's also two servo skulls, which I'm not going to bother with because they're very high up. And you can decide what you're going to do. Here we go. So here's our little action board. The servitors are going to clomp around from here. They're in zone 1 at the moment. And at the moment, I'm imagining that obviously Theophania is outside, that Gary is there, that Sally is there, and that Gary's got his little dog with him. That's what's happening. You're prone at the moment because you fell over. You haven't got back up yet. And I'm going to assume that the door, in case you're wondering, is there. That's the door we've opened. Great. Unless you've got any better ideas, I'm going to start this combat, and you can all decide what you're actually going to do. Running away is an option, but we're going to keep on going anyway until anyone actually does that. So, what's the initiative? What's all your initiatives?
8.
I'm going to assume there's no surprise going on here, and you also don't get any bonuses because you haven't planned for this. How combat works here is that you get a huge amount of bonuses if you actually plan for the combat. So here we go. We'll start with the servitors have an initiative of 3. What's your initiatives?
5.
5? 8. Right. So the first person to do something is Hully here. What would you like to do? In combat, basically, the way it works is you're in zone 2 right now, so you can do things to people in zone 2. The servitors are behind these packing crates in zone 1. You can move and do an action on your turn.
Right, so I'm going to run back next to the door.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. No actions.
I'm just going to have my pistol ready in case one of them starts getting too close to me.
Okay, brilliant. And then Gary and Bobbie, who's got the highest reflexes?
So mine are 49.
Reflexes, I am 29.
29. So Gary's going first then. And what would you like to do?
So I'm prone, so how do I get up?
You just get up. It's just your move to get up.
Okay, so I'm going to get up.
Yep.
I'm going to get ready with a smoke grenade.
With a smoke grenade, you can probably just throw the smoke grenade if you want.
I'm checking with the others if they want me to do it.
Okay, fine. Good. Very good. Okay. You're readying a smoke grenade. Brilliant. Then it's Bobbie's go. So, with picture of restraint here, Bobbie, what is Theophania about to do?
Yes, I'm going to pop in and repeat the question. What on earth are you two doing? This was meant to be quiet stealthing.
It's his fault!
Okay, brilliant.
Right.
Okay, is that it?
Are we
okay,
leaving?
it's the servitor's turn now. So,
The thing is, I want to investigate this place, so I don't want to leave. But I'm afraid of fighting servitors. I want to see if they actually attack us. They look menacing.
They are looking menacing.
We still haven't opened the box and had a look at the box.
Yeah, I still want to find out what's going on here, so I don't want to leave. I want to actually fight them. No, I don't want to do the fighting.
Okay.
How heavy are these boxes? Like, would
They're large. Yeah.
Squad be able to pick it up?
With great difficulty. Yeah, you could pick it up.
You could try and drag
difficult.
one out. Well, just if I throw smoke into the next section.
But yeah, you're shouting at me to grab a box while you fight, are you? I can try and do that.
We'll see how that goes.
Okay, well, anyway, too late because it's the servitors' initiative step now. Servitors are slow, so they can't move very far. So unfortunately, they're going to have to run. They're going to do a double move to come to the servo skulls turn. So they're going to go into this zone. These servitors, and that's their entire turn. So there's the servitors. They're moving into here. That's their entire turn that has shown what they can do. So now we're back to the start of the initiative, and it's your turn again. Hull wonk.
So there's a gap between them. I try and run between boxes are over in the middle of the room. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and run between the servitors over to where the boxes are. Grab a box.
Okay, brilliant. So you're going to run over there, and you're going to try and haul a box off the shelf, presumably one of the smaller ones?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, great. Why don't you do a so run and then grab that. That's going to be a simple athletics check to pick it up because it's quite heavy.
Okay.
It's going to be easy, though, so you get plus 40.
Plus 40.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm still not guaranteed.
No.
So I need to roll under 65.
Okay.
I rolled 31.
31. So you have successfully got you're wobbling. You're doing it okay. You've done it. You've got like quite a big one because that's 3 success levels higher.
Yeah.
But you're sort of wobbling under the strain of the box, and you're sort of staggering around, wobbling around, staggering around under the strain of that massive box. Okay. Brilliant. Okay,
Hoping
next
I don't
up
get hit now.
is hoping now you don't get hit, Gary.
I'm going to throw my grenade towards the servitor with the sort of hammer-looking device.
Okay, brilliant. So you're going to throw a grenade like here.
At its feet.
What the smoke grenade will do is it will fill the zone with smoke.
Right, so the zone
is this.
That's everywhere where we are.
This half of the room beyond this half. So fill that with smoke.
Right. In which case you won't be able to see.
Well, I'm at the door that I've just come in, so I think I'll be all right.
Well, I've done it now, so...
Okay, so there we are. You throw the smoke grenade. Just roll to see if you fumble it, basically, because it's not like you're aiming for a target. 48. So you've thrown the smoke grenade, and as you throw it, like thick black smoke starts pouring out. It's going to take like the rest of this round to completely fill the zone, but otherwise, it's getting very obscured. Now it's your turn, Bobbie.
I believe it is time for us to leave. So I'm gonna do a what's it? A fallback.
A fallback. You're going to retreat.
We're going to retreat.
Yes, the way this works. If you
from
want to
this
do
combat that we're completely unprepared for.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
So you're retreating whilst I'm still in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Follow my voice.
You would, if the fact that you're not all doing it means that you would lose superiority. But thankfully, you don't actually have any superiority at the moment.
Anyway.
So are you going to run out of the door?
Yes.
Right. So Theophania just runs. Brilliant. Okay. Next, it's the servitor's turn. So this is now heavily obscured. They're blinded. Obviously, the servo skulls. So what happens is the smoke bellows out, and what that will do is blind everyone in the area. The servo skulls obviously can still see who are directing them, but I think they're only cargo servitors. They're still going to be using their human eyes. They're not completely Borgified. And neither of these guys have particularly big augmetics on their faces. So what we're going to do is they're going to try and lumber towards you, but they don't really know where they're going. They're going to lumber towards you and try and grab you with their grabby claws, but they don't really know where they're going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lumber towards Selly and try and grab him with my grabby claws, but he has disadvantage on this. Okay. So the way this works is because he's blind. Yeah. So this is an opposed melee check. So what we'll do is I will now roll for the servitor, and you will roll for Selly. Now you can have 2 options here. When you're fighting a melee, you can either decide you're going to dodge, or fight back. So you basically, this is an opposed check. So I will roll for my servitor, trying to grab you with disadvantage, and you're going to roll for Selly for your dodge, and whoever gets the highest, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But, so, how you doing?
I rolled 65.
65. What's your dodge skill?
My dodge, would that be dexterity or agility?
It's dexterity. It's your
45.
45. So you failed by 2.
Would you be able to flip that with advantage? Because
he has disadvantage. So we'll see what the servitor gets. Yeah, brilliant. So the servitor gets 1 level of bad, and you get 2 levels of bad.
If the servitor's at disadvantage because it's also thing, can we flip it?
Yeah, flipping it. The servitor gets 1 level of bad, which he has to do, which means the servitor misses. but you also don't manage to get out of the way. So you're now engaged with the servitor. Yeah. I have the other servitor will lumber towards Garay. Again, not really sure what he's doing, and he's going to try and do a melee at you. Yep. So what would you like to do? Dodge or fight?
He's disadvantaged because he's blind.
He's disadvantaged because he's blind. Actually, you're all disadvantaged because you're blind.
I've got a void suit.
Except you've got a void suit. Not sure that does anything, but okay.
Well, it would at least have...
You don't have to, you're not breathing in any smoke.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I imagine I also have like a light on a void suit.
Yeah, you probably do have a light on a void suit. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've switched that on yet.
Dodge or melee, Garay.
I will fight.
You're going to fight them?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to use my knife.
You use your knife, right. So we both roll a dice and we add our melee score.
Oh, God.
So I'm at mine. I fail. The servitor again flails his arms around like an idiot, but cannot catch you. What have you got?
97.
97. So you fail very badly at using your knife.
Yeah.
But it's not, critically, it's not a fumble. No.
Is that with the disadvantage?
With disadvantage, the servitor has definitely failed.
Right. And do I have advantage because I set off the grenade?
You don't have a... do you have advantage? No, you don't have advantage. So do we both just wave our things at each other, but no one can see anything because they're all blinded by smoke? So they're all stomping around trying to hide. Brilliant. Okay, great. It's the start of the next round of combat. So at the start of the next round of combat, it is now the turn of Russ.
So Hully is still... I want to try and disengage from run away.
So you can do that as your action. You can disengage. You can use your action to move away without provoking an attack.
Oh, I'll do that then.
Right, so you use your action to disengage and then you move.
Yeah. Towards the door.
Towards the door. So you just go out the door then. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, good point. Yeah. So you want to do an awareness check to make sure you don't walk into a wall. It'll be. Let's give you a routine one, plus 20.
I get 17. So
brilliant. So you successfully stagger out of the door with a box.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, great. And then it's then Gary's go.
Yeah, I do the same.
You're going to try and disengage. Great. Again, awareness check to know where the door is.
05.
05. You have successfully navigated out of the door. I'm assuming your dog follows by. You successfully out the door. I'm assuming your dog follows.
Really good score. So I probably closed the door behind me.
Okay, good argument. Fair enough. You've closed the door behind you, and the servitors are now blundering. You can hear them like bumping into walls and bumping into each other, and things are happening. Yeah.
Can I rush to the door on the outside still?
Yep.
I don't want to go through it or anything. But I want to mess up the locking mechanism in order to make it so the door is locked.
Okay, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, go for it. That's a test, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's your tech?
My tech is 55.
Cool. I think it's just a straight tech. You're not going to get an advantage because you haven't.
So it's like the opposite of unlocking it. So would it come under security or not?
It's still the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, still an electronic door. So same thing. You just need to roll your check.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. So 31.
Yep. So you've successfully locked the door behind you.
And in a way that they can't immediately just unlock.
Yeah. What's your tech skill? 55. So you've succeeded by 2 success levels. Yeah. Let's say you've locked the door behind you.
Yeah.
There's now you can hear some. There's still a little faint beep coming through the door, and you can hear some bumping around servitors.
Okay. So I'm going to run off back towards the other lighter now.
Okay. So you all run away. With the box. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Now, we have just stolen, very possibly, minor holiday supplies.
Yeah, so you've done the potentially done the exact opposite of what you should be doing for the. But I suppose they're technically yours, right?
Well, we're checking what's in the boxes. We don't know yet.
Well, we might have stolen that. We might have completely different.
No, okay, brilliant. Okay, so you go back to the lighter. Weirdly, no one's come out yet. There's no humans have been seen.
Right.
And you open up the box, and inside is a small quantity of candy Sanguiniuses.
Can we check if the toys inside them?
Yeah, I would say there are going to be 8 candy Sanguiniuses in the box. Only a small box.
Okay. Are they in proper wrappers?
They're in wrappers. They're in packaging. They're ready to be. They're ready to be shipped. Yeah. They're in candy. It's holy packaging. They're ready to be shipped. They're in like the shredded paper. You know, that sort of shredded paper packaging. Yeah. Quite soft. Yeah.
So I'm going to check
the foil wrappers.
We're doing the Emperor's work here. It's okay for me to open one of them. It's okay, right?
Whilst you are not highborn, as these treats are intended, I believe on this rare occasion, testing them for poison would not be above your station.
Okay, I'm going to take one of its wrapper and try one.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are we still in the car park? Actually, fly away whilst I'm doing.
Well, we also have the option to put the box by the door if we don't want to take it with us.
I do have a plan.
Okay.
But if there's something wrong with the contents, then we can take it with us to present it as evidence.
Okay. What? Go on. What's the plan?
Well, as you two have absolutely bungled that attempt, perhaps we could pass this as a test of their security. As we are already investigating missing produce, it would appear that this facility is not secure.
Absolutely right. And that's totally what we were doing all along.
In which case, our box is evidence of how unsecure it is.
Evidence of wrongdoing, so we should keep the box.
Yes.
Right, okay.
This is clear and undisputable evidence of complete and utter wrongdoing.
Very good.
If two as incompetent as you were able to steal goods from this warehouse.
I didn't fire the shotgun at anyone.
I'd
or
like
even up in the air.
to remind you all that this is not my job.
I feel like we're in a sketch with the Marx Brothers.
Okay, so you open the candy Sanguinius, and it's got a wrapper, like a foil wrapper with a painting, an image printed on it of the great and holy Primarch Sanguinius of the Blood Angels with his angel wings, and inside is like a hollow chocolate coloured, because we don't know if chocolate exists, a hollow chocolate coloured candy thing. Think lint bunny.
Like a bauble.
Think like a lint bunny, but of a dead Primarch.
I was imagining a Kinder egg because...
And inside you can hear something rattling.
Ooh, a toy. Okay, I'm gonna try and be as unheretical as possible. Start Sanguinala from the...
Okay, right. You're not going to bite the head off Sanguinius.
Start from the feet upwards and see if the... First of all, obviously, we'll have a chocolate taste. The mocklet.
Mocklet, yeah, the candy.
Mocklet.
Yeah.
Mocklets, candy mocklets, and then try and tip the toy out.
Okay, yeah, all right, fine. So, you try the chocolate, the not chocolate. It's it's lovely. The candy, it's very, very sweet. Quite the sweetest and smoothest of such confection you have ever had. And inside, a small toy comes out. Can you roll a d10?
3.
That would be a small, image of the sainted Primarch Jagatai Khan comes out. It has little, it has little feet on the bottom of it. When you wind it up, it walks forward across the tabletop. There's also a little pull cord on the back. Yeah.
Pull the pull cord.
Pull the pull cord.
And I'm going to put like a flat surface anyway.
Yeah, there is some flat surfaces in the Arvis Lighter. Yeah.
He will walk happily across the flat surface of the Arvis Lighter.
Yeah, you're actually surprised by how quickly he walks across the flat surface of the Arvis Lighter. Yeah.
I'm going to tuck the chocolate away in one of my slings.
You've got slings full of mince pies and hot Grox pies. Well, they're not hot anymore, and definitely not chocolate. Candy Sanguinius.
Yeah, mocklet Sanguinius.
Yeah, brilliant.
Small Jagatai can.
And the tiny small toy Jagatai can, which when you pull the thing,
the fastest of the Primarch.
Yeah, it's a very quick like little stagger across the table. Yeah.
But he's not actually on a bike or a jet bike or anything.
No, he's just walking.
He's just walking.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like the more expensive version?
I don't know. That's probably a different contraption, different planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we assuming that this planet makes like 9 different toys in one type of chocolate?
That is
everything they do. Or
yes, you remember.
This planet only makes the Jagatai Khan version.
You remember from your briefing with Ricardo Magentus that yes, it makes all 9.
It makes all
any of this planet makes these things, and you could get any one of the 9 Primarchs.
Okay, so I could hopefully set by
potentially.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also have 8 more in the box.
Crate full of the fuckers. So
7 more in the box.
There's only 7 more in the box, so I can't possibly have all 9.
We'd have to go back to the warehouse.
Oh dear. As a 42-year-old squat, And again, I was going to say as a 42-year-old squad, I'm entirely too excited about these Tycoon toy. But as a 45-year-old human being in the real world, I am excited about toy.
Okay, brilliant. Good.
So
Yeah.
it would be normal for a squat to be as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So that's what you find. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the Candy Sanguinala. Yeah.
Hey.
Well, Holly hasn't dropped dead yet.
No, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, you've not been poisoned by anything.
Okay.
So, you know.
So far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I should have run it through the diagnoster, shouldn't I?
the suggestion of presenting this as a security test, we could now run with that and go to the service office and see if we can get some.
Absolutely.
You enter, all three of you, I assume, are going to go into the customer service entrance. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
Brilliant. So, as you enter, you see a tasteful Gothic desk, behind which is a seat and a small name placard that says on the front of it, Jeffricus the Servitor. But there is no servitor to be seen. There is a small red light blinking above a door that seems like it would go through to the larger warehouse.
Yep.
And that door is ajar. There on the desk is like a series of small screens which can see feeds from things that are flying around. It looks like they're service gold feeds, and there's a data terminal there with with stuff there.
Okay.
Is there a bell?
I was going to say, is there a tannoy system that I could try and hook into and order Jeffricus the Servitor to return to customer services?
There is. You might be able to do that through the data slate service, but it seems like it's not a system that requires people to speak.
So shall I try and get Jeffricus back here so we can tell him off for being shit at security? And also, would this shipping, this what are they called? Arbusto Merchants Guild, would they fall under administratum, or would they be some sort of private enterprise?
They're chartist.
So they wouldn't.
They wouldn't fall under the administratum.
Okay.
They're chartist captain.
We want someone back here to tell them off, right?
Yep. I mean, I do have my loud hailer. I can be very, very loud.
The door is ajar. You could into the warehouse.
So, I can summon him back and show that I know their security. It's like you've just left this entire security array free for me to play with, and tell them off about that as well.
Sounds like a good idea, yeah.
Would that be a tech roll to figure it out?
Yep, you can do that. You can try that. Yep, do a tech roll. Easy plus 30.
So that's 17. So
brilliant.
I succeed by about 6 levels. So I have entire control of their
gain access.
system.
Yeah, you do. You gain access to their systems.
Yeah.
You can see that there are various feeds. There are about 12 servo skulls dotted around the warehouse, just permanently going around. There are various alert systems and things like that. The alarm system has been triggered and is bleeping. It's going. There is an alarm. There is a switch to turn the alarm off.
Turn the alarm off.
Okay, you turn the alarm off. Okay, that happens. There's also various camera recordings from the last few weeks and things like that.
Oh, can I download them onto one of my data slates to check through to see if there's someone been here who shouldn't have been here?
Yes, you can do that, yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Okay, brilliant. Right.
And later I'm going to do some data delving and data delver 2ing.
Oh, because you've got a data delver.
Because I've got data delver stuff that I can retrieve information, read, and I'm assuming as well as reading at 2 times
interpret
speed,
it.
go through videos at 2 times speed as well and stuff like that.
I'm sure you can, yeah.
So I'm going to go through all of that later if I need to.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Brilliant. And otherwise you're just waiting.
Yeah, so I've tried to give an online instruction to Jeffricus through the noosphere or whatever I'm connected through.
To resummon Jeffricus the Servitor.
Back
Brilliant.
to reception.
So you hear some clomping coming towards the door, and eventually, but lighter clomping, not as heavy clomping as the clomping from before. And eventually the door opens and a servitor walks in. It's a very finely done servitor with a bald head and a very human-like appearance. It looks like the head's been sort of remade. So it's got a face mask, but the mask is very...
Does it look like Crichton?
Healthily, no, it's the opposite of Crichton. So the face mask is very normal human, and it's got a shaven head.
Okay.
And it sort of notices you and sort of goes and moves over, and you're sort of shoved out the way as it moves and sits down at its desk. And it goes, Welcome to the Arbusto Hold on, it doesn't do that because it's brilliant. I've got it.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the Arbusto Merchants Guild. My name is Jeffricus, your friendly customer service unit. Please state the nature of your inquiry. For progress on your off-world shipment, please say Alpha. For details of our latest quarantine offers, please say Beta. To inquire about an inheritance position as a servitor maintenance technician, please say Delta. For any other inquiries, please say Gamma.
Gamma.
What is the nature of your inquiry? Please speak your inquiry into my ears.
Rank heresy.
You have selected heresy. The Arbusto Merchants Guild take a very dim view of heresy. It's not something we allow on any of our service centres. As such, all service centres are staffed entirely by servitors, who, as you know, cannot do heresy.
Right.
Do you have another inquiry?
Gamma.
You wish to inquire about a position as a servitor maintenance technician.
I thought Gamma was the any other inquiries.
Fair enough. I think that might be Delta. Yeah, you're right. It's Gamma. Yeah, it's Gamma. What is the nature of your inquiry? Please speak your inquiry into my ears.
Security failures.
Arbusto Merchants Guild take the security of their premises extremely seriously. We have had 0 security failures in the last 300 years.
It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? Can I try and re-access the computer network and try and actually summon a human being? Or is Jeffricus going to try and stop me from doing that?
Do you want to have a go at it?
I'm going to try and because I was plugged in and everything, whatever I was doing. I'm going to try and plug in and see if I can summon someone who actually can have a conversation.
Okay, Jeffricus does this. Jeffricus says, I'm sorry, accessing Arbusto data centers is against company policy. Please refrain from accessing any data centers.
I'm going to keep doing it.
I'm sorry. Accessing Arbusto data centers is against company policy. Please refrain from accessing our data centers.
Is he physically stopping me from plugging back into the computer? I'm just going to do it anyway and ignore him now.
Okay, yeah. What are you trying to do?
I want to try and actually see if I can find if there's a human being, like some sort of actual, like a child who does what in
Hold
business.
on, I know how to solve this. Right, so we've all been on these sorts of calls before. So I think getting to a human is going to be a very hard difficulty check. -30.
-30, so I need to roll under 25.
To find the customer service human number.
I am a data delver.
Yeah, no advantages on this.
So in order data delver, advantage to find or retrieve information from a document or archive.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have advantage?
No.
No. Oh.
Okay, you can have advantage, but it's -40 now.
Okay. I rolled 27.
Is that not enough?
It's a minor failure.
Oh, right. Okay. You get very close after going through 4 or 5 options on the Jeffrey system.
Yeah.
You get very close to thinking you might have found like a Vox number, but you can't find one.
Okay.
It is just entirely automated, it seems.
Oh, my God. Okay. What do we do next?
Please refrain from accessing our data centers. Data, right, either. Data. That's better. Yeah, data.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah, right, good.
Do that one. What shall I try and do next, you two? Or have you got a different idea that doesn't involve their servers?
Well, it does appear that this warehouse is completely and utterly insufficient for storing such sacred items.
Does that mean we should burn it down?
You would dare burn the image of Sanguinius?
Is there logs in the data center to see who the recent pickups have been by?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, so I want to go back through the logs, and then if we find when there's been pickups, try and tally that up with the security feed records.
Okay. Do you want to? Are you doing that in the customer service center, or are you doing what you said before?
Might as well do it there. He doesn't seem to be doing anything to stop, and if someone turns up, that's helpful for us.
Okay, brilliant. So as you go through the logs, you notice various pickups and drop-offs over the last few weeks. There's a few other companies, but the only important one you notice really is that there was a number of pickups, of drop-offs of candy Sanguiniuses from a company called Roger Ratlingson's treat manufactorum, which delivers the candy Sanguiniuses. There was visits from the Ministorum for blessings, for sanctioned blessings, which are all part of the logs. There was one shipment in the last week, and then a couple of shipments that seem similar that have an alert on them on the delivery. Otherwise, all the deliveries have been delivered of candy Sanguinius. Seems like about 50% of the entire warehouse is just candy Sanguinius.
Do we have any idea what the rest of it is? Can I tell that?
It's it looks like standard Imperial tech parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the alert, the ones that were tagged for the alert, can I watch them on the security feed to see if there was anything interesting? Can I display this on the screen for them to watch as well? So
as Holly's doing his data nonsense, I'm going to use my shoddy writing kit to write up a writ of notice that they've been visited by the administratum.
Paperwork. You're really getting into the role here.
They've been found completely lacking. These security system completely at fault, not up to standards. Not up to Ministorum standards either.
Right, okay.
It's a long parchment, and I'm going to wax seal it onto the servitor's forehead. Okay. So it's nice and prominent for whoever comes to do maintenance.
I also want to check that though, because I have the Lawbringer talent, and so I can. We know that they have failed, so I'm going to try and come up with appropriate legislation for the specific security failures that they have exhibited.
Right, okay.
So I can make sure you append that.
It's going to be quite threatening that their charter's at risk because they're failing the emperor.
Okay, fair enough. Who are you delivering this to? You're just pinning it to
I'm pinning it to and leaving a...
Stapling it to Jeffrey.
Leaving a
That seems like the most efficient way to deal with that.
Contact us.
In the true
number,
in the true spirit of the Imperium,
slightest Vox number on
you're going to do some. You're going to do some bureaucracy.
Do some bureaucracy.
Okay, brilliant.
Do we think it's like strange that this servitor, whose job is to be at the desk, has left the desk? Is that good programming or?
Once again, it's one of the many things that has been documented amongst the many security failures that's going to have their license revoked, no doubt.
But does it have like ulterior programming or something? Is it?
I don't know. Maybe I could do a tech roll to figure out whether a reception droid would ever leave reception.
Which of these many things are you doing first?
I'll do a tech roll to see if a servitor would actually leave reception in that situation, or if this is something unusual.
Yep, go for it.
I rolled 97.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea.
Sorry, Gare, I have no idea.
All right.
What are you doing next? So you're writing out the correct bureaucracy and you're helping, but you're also scanning
the security feeds of the ones that had alerts on. So
Brilliant.
We can look at the security feeds.
Okay, brilliant. So on the most recent security feed, you see a number of images at once from all the roving drones. Particularly, you see a huge portal open. This seems like it's the same as up until like about halfway through. It seems the same of all the other security feeds. One of the huge docking bays opens. And a lander, a sort of delivery vehicle, backs up to it, like a cargo 8. Backs up to it. And the servitors come up and they start unloading crates of Sanguinala, this thing. And then suddenly the image scrambles for a second as like a blue pulse of energy.
EMP sort of
bumps out.
Yeah.
And when the image reestablishes, all you see is a wreckage. Like there's been an explosion. A huge hole is there. The cargo rate has been blown apart. Bits of chocolate angel are everywhere. There's a little bit of chocolate angel stuck to the lens of the servo skull, and it's sort of trying to shake it off.
And is this a delivery from Roger Ratlingson's?
Roger, and the delivery was from Roger, and the delivery truck had written on the side of it, Roger Ratlingson's Treat Manufactorum. And as the wreckage clears, you see a figure disappear off into the distance.
And was this figure like human sized?
Yes, like it's smaller than human size.
Was it rattling sized?
It's not. It looks like, it's hard to tell from the picked footage, but it looks like smaller than human size, bigger than rattling size, green and very hairy.
Oh, we What's it called? The grunch? Is that
Green hairy figure is seen running away.
some sort of grunch? Would I have heard of any stories about grunches in my childhood?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Seems
Could be a
like
Gretchen.
seems like Xenos filth to me. Heretics
Maybe
to be
it's Gretchen.
purged.
Yeah, does it look Xenos? Does it scamper?
It
like
looks
Xenos?
it scampers, but it, I mean a lot of things scamper, Russ.
Okay.
Yeah, it scampers
Yeah,
away.
Gretchen.
And it's very hairy, very long green hair, fuzzy green hair.
What direction? Like we can see roughly what direction it originally.
You can see it go out of view.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think there's two options here. We either go and investigate Roger Rattlington, or I try and hack into the security cameras for this area to track where the Grinching went. What do we reckon?
We haven't spoken to anyone from this department yet to say like if they own up to the reconstruction. Are they trying to hide it, or is it something that they're aware of and they're trying to make amends? I think we need to.
Can I look up where their head office is?
Arbusto.
Yeah.
You can. It's off-world, unfortunately.
Off-world.
Yeah.
How inconvenient.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it does appear that at least one shipment has been stolen, and that
Or
fact has
destroyed.
been concealed.
Yeah. So when the on the security footage, were there fewer boxes left when the security came back online?
Yeah. A load of stuff exploded. Yeah, the truck exploded with all the boxes in it.
But also, the box. So they weren't stolen; they were just destroyed.
I would suggest
others were taken. And
No, it would suggest that something went off and it was destroyed.
So it's sabotage rather than theft. Okay, so someone's trying to
Sabotage it.
sabotage or steal Sanguinala.
Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. Okay, so we're not trying to solve a theft; we're trying to solve a sabotage.
Wow.
Right.
I believe that these rattling sons may know who is attempting to
I think we should
sabotage
go and
them.
speak to them.
And find out if it's been reported as well. Like they've obviously noticed one truck's
Yeah.
missing. Have they reported that or?
Yeah, let's go. Should we go to Ratlingson's? And if we can't get any leads from Ratlingson's, we can try and hack into the security footage of the local area and see where the green thing went.
Yep.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
So you
And
have.
we have left the Vox number for.
Okay, you've left a Vox number on Jeffricus the servitor to contact. Brilliant. Okay. So you take to the skies again in your lander, I assume.
I'm going to check my shotgun and see if it's working and stuff like that. I'm going to reload it.
Oh, sorry. Also, I didn't finish the thing. The things you see after that is then you see, it's a big thing. Like the arbiters are forced to turn up, and there's footage of like the rebuilding happens, and it is stuff happens. Like there is footage afterwards where people are rebuilding the wall, and the police have turned up to take reports, and because arbiters, because it's the holy relics, very important.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very important. Business.
Very, very important business.
Very important business.
Okay.
We matter.
Okay. Brilliant. Where are we going?
Roger Ratlingson's. I can't remember the name of the place.
Roger Ratlingson's Treat Manufactorum.
Treat Manufactorum. Woohoo! Now, I'm going to be building some Manufactorums soon for Legions Imperialis. So I get to visit a Manufactorum to see
I mean, it's a very specific sort of Manufactorum, Russ. Brilliant. So your lander then takes over. Finding Roger Ratlingson's is relatively simple in the local
Ochre page.
Ochre data slates. Yeah, that's good. It's obvious where the Manufactorum is. You go back towards the city. You're flying into the city now. And in view comes a massive Manufactorum building at the central end of the manufacturing district. It's a bright red Gothic building covered in glow globes and baubles. At one end is a loading bay in which are parked vast transport vats labelled Juve-O starch. and a new transport container is being slowly lowered into position by a cargo lifter. Hundreds of small figures are moving in and out of the manufactorum, some waving like lumen batons to direct the lander. At the other end of the manufactorum, crates upon crates of finished goods stand ready for collection. They're a bit like the crate that you picked up. As you descend, you see that all the scurrying figures are ratlings, dressed in red felt outfits and wearing the pointy felt shoes common to manufacturing workers across Grubulax XIV.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at the Mocklet factory then, yeah?
Yeah, you're here.
Basically, this is the Mocklet factory.
This is a factory that seems to be delivering candy sanguinii.
Mocklet Factorium.
Mocklet Factorium.
Okay.
The Candy Factorium.
So is this where the mocklet is made and the toy is put in it and then it's wrapped and given to the...
Guess you're going to have to find out, Gary.
Right. When we're flying in, can we see how many trucks are at that loading bay? Is there any missing?
There's one large truck being reversed into the... Well, there's a lander being guided down. So whereas the previous one was just cargo weights, this is like a large lander that's being guided down and into like a port on the side of the building where you might plug a vat in. That's being loaded in, and then on the other side of the building, other end of the building, is like obviously the output bay, and that's just got tons and tons of crates piled up.
No trucks.
No trucks.
Right.
I just had one thought. When I was looking at the video feed, could we see that the truck that got blown up actually was relatively full? I'm just worried. So I said it's sabotage, not theft, and now I'm wondering maybe it was just a cover for some theft, and it was just full of empty boxes, and they're shipping them off world.
Oh, you couldn't see. You couldn't see from where you were looking.
There was a
I'm
piece
suddenly
of...
thinking maybe it's still theft, and this was just a cunning ruse to hide the theft.
There was chocolate on the lens, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't need to be full of chocolate, though. It might have just been some chocolate. I'm suspecting sabotage, but now I'm thinking...
We'll have to investigate.
Possibly more than I've been thinking, but yeah. Yeah.
Are we writing the adventure for you? Is this what?
I mean, I've got notes. There's notes. Yeah. Upon leaving the land, are you landing? What's going on?
You're driving.
You're driving, Gary. What's going on?
Well, I'm pressing a button. I can press land.
Should we land there? I think we should land there, shouldn't we?
Yep.
We need to see Roger and look at his Mocklet factorum.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Brilliant. So you land outside the front.
Yeah, inside the gates, though.
Inside the gates.
Mocklet factorums are generally fairly famous for not opening the gates to people unless it's the appropriate time.
I'm guessing there's lots of ratlings. The one with the batons that was landing.
Yeah, that's on the other side. There's like two sides of the building. So there's loads of ratlings you saw from above, but you could land in like a landing zone outside what looks like the main entrance to the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, should we land at the front entrance then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
As you land, a rattling comes out with like a confused-looking rattling comes out, looking like he's not in the right place, and he's carrying two landing batons, and he starts waving them at you to make you land.
Because that's the only way to land.
Only way to land. So you land down, and the ramp comes down, and presumably all three of you descend, only to be met by an exasperated-looking rattling who walks up to you and goes, "Hey, I just love Sanguinala. How about you guys? My name's Roger the Rattling. Good to meet ya."
Now, it's generally considered bad form to kill an NPC before they've had a chance to speak. And I'm saying this entirely out of character, but I think we might want to make an exception here. No, in all seriousness, I'm going to let someone else do the talking because every time I've said anything...
Welcome to Roger the Rattling's Treat Manufactorum.
Who here is in charge? We have important Sanguinala business to attend to.
Well, we're always excited to get a meeting from some of the Adepta. Roger the Rattling's in charge, which is all of us. We're all Roger the Rattling.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm Roger the Rattling, the 17th.
I see.
How many rattlings are there?
Well, my dad and my granddad and my granddad's granddad and my granddad's granddad's granddad, we're all Roger the Rattlings. As you know, any form of government is permissible in the Imperium, so Roger the Rattlings is a communal workers' collective.
Oh, God.
We just love Sanguinala. We spend all our year making Sanguinala presents.
Okay.
Say, do you want to speak to my shift manager?
Hey, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Roger the Rattling.
That would be really helpful. Thank you very much, Roger the Rattling.
Roger the Rattling guides you in to the chocolate, definitely not the candy manufactorum. It's huge. Rows upon rows of benches going on the side. And behind all the benches are rows upon rows of red-clad rattlings, all happily pouring candy into moulds.
Are they singing as they work?
They are singing as they work,
singing,
yeah.
Roger Rattling, Roger Rattling.
They're singing happy, jolly songs as they work. They're going away. And at one end of the thing, you can see like there's a massive collection of like weird, strange shaped pipes going all over the room, brass dials everywhere. There's some occasional gouts of steam and bursts of steam. You can see that the pipes are coming from a great big silo in one corner that says on it, Juvo starch, the sweetest starch from the sweetest corpses.
Okay.
And it's pumping down into the... Roger the Rattling continues to talk as he goes through. He goes, "Welcome to Rattlingson's House of Treats. We love Sanguinala here, and we love making all us candy Sanguinalas. We just love having visitors, especially august people from the Adepta. I'll just get Roger Rattling to see if you can need any help." And then he gets to the end of his things, and down the steps from like a Victorian overseer's office comes an identical Rattling who goes, "Hi, I'm Roger the Rattling, shift supervisor."
Hi, Roger the Rattling, shift supervisor. We have someone. We would like to ask someone about an incident that recently took place at the Arbusto Merchants Guild.
Ah, the Arbusto Merchants Guild. You must be talking about the explosion. Yeah. Oh, it's a very sad business, the explosion. We only want to supply the best of the Sanguinala goods, and someone wants to ruin our work. Now, that's not very Sanguinalacy of it, is he? Of them, is it?
Roger. Has this been the only incident of that type, or has there been similar occurrences?
Oh, no. There's been many, many occurrences. It's really putting back our production quotas.
Oh dear. Has anyone got any idea of why all these explosions? Is it been explosions, or has there been other methods of sabotage?
Mostly explosions.
Mostly explosions. Has anyone got any leads on who might be causing these explosions?
But before you can carry on, the other Rattling's ears seem to have pricked up around, and they start singing a song going, "Explosions, explosions, we really hate explosions. They're really bad for Sanguinala. We just hate explosions. Explosions, explosions, we really hate explosions. They're really bad for Sanguinala. We just hate explosions." They all start doing a little song and dance. They're getting closer and closer to you, start dancing around you, sort of as if you're meant to join in.
Okay.
Can you all take Can you just quickly take a perception check?
All right.
I failed by 1 level.
Brilliant.
94. I'm massively
Very bad.
failed.
Good. Okay.
92. I also fail massively.
Great. It continues. Explosions, explosions. We really hate explosions. They're really bad for Sanguinala. We just hate explosions.
If I try to join in, how do they respond?
They look even happier and dance even closer around you.
Okay.
Yep, brilliant.
Bad, right?
And then they stop for a bit and they all go back to work. Roger the Rattling's like, "Get back to work. That's enough singing for 1 minute. Now, the Adeptus already been round. We had the RBDs round just the other day. What are you here for?"
We're on most important Sanguinala business, not regular
business.
business. We're from a very important department.
Really?
We're from the Department of Minor Holiday Supplies.
Oh, well, that's my favourite department.
Exactly, I thought it would be. Now, we are trying to help prevent any further losses of Sanguinala candy Sanguinius.
Oh.
And we need your help to achieve this.
Well, we'll do anything we can to make sure that there's as many candy Sanguiniuses as possible. Our candy Sanguiniuses are the sweetest in the area. Only the best candy from the best corpse starch. We make candy Sanguiniuses for kids and from kids.
I need to log into your computer network to try and spot if there are any patterns to help us establish where the explosions are happening, when they're happening, and in order to identify any possible leads.
Well, I can tell you that. The 3 explosions have happened all at the Bristol warehouse.
At exactly the same entrance.
Well, we did lose 1 truck on the way, and old Roger was killed in a freak explosion. But Roger the Rattling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Roger the Rattling was driving the truck, and the truck exploded just before it got to the warehouse, and he was killed.
So not all of the trucks have exploded, just some of them.
Well, 3 trucks have exploded in the last
row.
No, just randomly.
Got there and they've been okay.
Yeah, some have been fine.
Some have been fine.
But we are very, very low on production. It makes us very sad because we're all going to get killed by the Inquisition.
Right, so have all of the trucks that blew up come from the same loading bay here?
Well, we've only got 1 loading bay and it's right there.
Can we have a look at your loading bay, please, Roger the Rattling?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Roger Rattling Roger Rattlingson takes you out into the loading bay. He sort of puts his hand on your back and guides you out into the loading bay. And in the loading bay, you can see there's lots of crates everywhere. Yeah.
I'm going to say to Roger Rattlingson, I would understand that normally these crates are only for the most impressive and important possible people. But it is going to be, and I can't explain why, I'm afraid, but it is going to be very important to our investigation that we have at least 1 of each possible toy. And I just need you to ask no questions, I'm afraid. Would it be possible to load a couple more crates onto our office lighter while we're with you?
I'm afraid I'm going to need to see some authorization for that. We can't just let holy relics of the Imperium go walkabout.
So can I try and... all I've got is my Administratum ID, presumably. Can I try and show that and see if that'll do the
You can try and show your Administratum ID. Yeah. When you go for your Administratum ID, you found that you don't have it anymore.
Oh. Shit. That's what the dancing was, perhaps. Okay. I'm going to whisper to the others and see if you still have your Administratum IDs.
I didn't have one to start with.
Oh, did you not? Do you? Do you have your ID to prove you're from the Ministorum, though?
I don't think you have ID to prove you're from the Ministorum.
I have a hand flame.
You're literally covered in purity seals.
Gary, what would you have had? Are you part of the Administratum, or are you fleet, or what?
Pest control, so I could show him a pest control permit.
Or would that be Administratum?
I think you're fleet, yeah.
Would you have a fleet ID badge, or would you not need one if you're always on the same ship?
No, I think I would just be showing pest control documents to people on board.
I'm going to try and bluff my way out of this, saying I seem to have left it at home.
Okay,
I have every single thing.
You're looking for
one of these folds on my robe here.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Go for it. It's. I'm going to do it as a match thing against his.
When?
What are you going for? Are you being friendly or are you being scary?
I'm trying to be friendly.
Okay, brilliant. Test your fellowship rapport.
Yeah. That's a fail.
Hey, brilliant. He goes, well, I can't let you have any of those. We're so behind on production. We need to keep all the ones we can have.
I thought you'd say that. Okay, never mind. But we can look at the loading bay.
You can look at the loading bay, yeah.
Excellent. Right. So, should we go and look at this loading bay?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he takes you by the hand and leads you out to the loading bay.
We should find out if they've seen the green harried alien about as well. Like, have they got CCTVs and stuff?
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, when we get there, we're going to see if there's cameras pointing at the area.
I'll try and hack in later if they got.
Yeah, you can't see any. You can't see any cameras around.
Or cerebral skulls.
Right. So perception, I don't have advantage, do I? No. Then I got 62, which is
fail.
A fail. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just good to know. Cool. So outside there's.
Check my pockets. Check nothing else has gone missing.
You can check your pockets and check anything else has gone missing. A lot of mince pies, 2 candy Sanguiniuses, and your Auspex.
What?
Yeah.
Right. Can I?
What about his jacket I can?
Can I try and suggest that I didn't notice it happen, but it must have been Roger, because I don't want to say this.
Which one?
I'm going to keep it close. Oh, yeah. They're all Tasselhoff perfect, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, shit. So I'm going to load everything else I possess somewhere I can try and keep a closer eye on it. So from now on, I'm on the watch out. I'm looking out.
Okay.
What else might, and just trying to be like, shit, you're not going to steal from me again, you little bastards, because I know it's happening, but if I say it, they're not going to stop helping us.
So I've noticed that Russell's missing his stuff. I'm going to check my stuff to see what I'm missing.
You seem to have all your stuff.
Okay.
I don't know where your dog's gone, though.
Oh.
Into the
I
truck.
hate to ask. What am I? Am I missing anything?
All the reloads for your flamer don't seem to be there anymore.
Okay.
Roger comes back. Hey, it could be the same person. You have no way of telling. Hey, have you had a nice look at the supply yard?
Yeah, do you have any security cameras watching the security yard?
No, we don't have anything like that.
Okay, do you not think that might have helped with preventing the explosions?
The explosions have all happened at the Amazon, the Arbusto warehouse.
Yeah, but they've all happened involving your...
Oh, yeah, our trucks have all been destroyed. We have no way of getting the supplies there now.
So you have no trucks left?
No trucks left. That's why there's no trucks here.
So they're not already on the way.
We're
there.
all going to get killed as heretics.
So we need to secure you a new truck.
Well, we'd love that.
How about we get you a new truck and you give us our stuff back?
Stuff back? We have no idea what you're talking about.
No, of course you don't.
Okay, can I try and call my dog to see if it yelps or something from any nearby place?
Yeah. You can try and call your dog.
Okay.
How are you going to try and call your dog?
I'm going to use my voice and call its name.
Okay, brilliant. Right. What's its name again?
SK Raps.
SK Raps. Okay, good. You call the dog. You can't. You're outside in the supply yard. You don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything. Okay.
Now, I hate to point it out, Carrie, but there are ways in which you could see where the dog is.
I do have psychic powers. I'm a little bit reluctant to use them in the vicinity
We don't know that, of course.
other people.
Right.
So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull my hood over my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my back to the others.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use my scrying gaze.
Scrying gaze.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one else is suspicious in any way.
That I've done that.
I mean, he's always lurking in the darkness
And
anyway.
turned my back.
And you're going to try and use your scrying gaze to figure out where your dog's gone.
Yeah.
Because
Because,
that upset about SK Raps.
well, see, the ability lets me see any creature or place that I've already seen or been. So I can basically find out where he is in the vicinity.
Okay, so this is how this works. You need to do a what is it? A psychic check, don't you? It's
Psychic mastery check.
yeah.
So it is.
It's against your psychic mastery.
But this is an easy thing for me to do.
Yes, plus 40.
Yeah.
What's your psychic mastery?
My psychic mastery is. Where is it? Whereabouts is that on my sheet?
In the middle of the second column for skills and specializations.
Yeah. I'm Roger Rattling. Woo!
Yeah. 36.
36. Okay, so you get plus
Under
40.
76.
So 76 to see if you can do your scrying gaze.
As it's his own dog, would he be likely to have advantage?
No, but if you get better than 4 success levels, then you'll be able to tell where it is as well.
How far away it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got 63.
Okay, so the dog is trotting around in what looks like a weird lost property stockroom. It's got loads of random shit on various like shelves. It's like lost property room. And the door has like a basic little lock on it, but he's in like a lost property room on a shelf. He's sitting on a shelf and next to like baubles and a hand flamer and an Auspex scanner and various lost socks.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to check my socks. Are they present?
Both of your socks are present.
Right.
And mine?
Your socks are also present.
Okay.
You don't have socks.
I don't have socks.
Okay. Right. So we have to find this lost property office. Now, do we want to just tell him to take us there? Or do we actually want to find it ourselves?
I think he'll take us to it.
Yeah, so given the size of this warehouse and the obvious non-compliance of the workforce to the Imperium's might, do you think this might be the case where we need to call in our backup
Possibly.
to investigate what's quite suspicious.
It does seem frustrating though, to use it on a bunch of
Abhumans that
rattlings.
are short on their supplies. They're not meeting their quotas.
I think they probably just got carried away. This is what they get up to.
Yeah.
When we get there, we'll get it back and they'll be grumpy. Ish.
But yeah, that's what I mean. It's not helping us with the actual investigation. But on the other hand, it's going to be hard to do the investigation without your dog and an Allspec scanner. I think we need to call in our tithe boon. Our patron boon and do a tithe inspection. I think it might be a good idea.
Given that they are the ones with the shortfall, that does seem like the.
Well, maybe we could try and threaten them with that first, and see if threatening them makes us take them to the lost property office. Because after all we want is our stuff. Whereas if shall we try the intimidation route?
Yeah.
I mean, it might not work. I think one of you should do it though, not me.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
I am going to attempt to intimidate whichever rattling is closest to me.
I just thought actually, what is your presence again?
My presence is 33.
So mine's only 29.
I'm going to be holding a revving chainsword as I do it.
Because I can use my lawbringer stat to threaten them with the fact that I know for a fact that they've broken a law. And I can probably gain us 5 success levels if I succeed at all.
Okay.
Well, no, because that's just 5 success levels, isn't it? So, but I need to make my rapport/presence test. But my rapport is so I can, if I do succeed, I get a huge bonus.
Do you want me to give you advantage by backing you up?
Yeah, can we do that?
Is that
Okay, so you're trying to intimidate the nearest rattling, and you're standing behind him with a revving chainsword.
Yes.
Right, okay, brilliant. And what does that give you?
we're giving them?
I have to make a rapport or presence test, and they're 28 and 29, so I do it at 29 with the presence to try and be a bit official.
Against my willpower, I'm going to guess.
I guess. I'm not using those dice, though, because I've been rolling like shit, so let's roll these ones instead.
Okay.
I rolled 86. So it's too advanced.
So basically, if you know they've broken the law and you want to use a rapport or presence test, so rapport to be friendly and presence to be scary, then you can add your lawbringer to that and you get 2 extra success levels.
So, yeah, I got 86 and then 2 success levels improvement upon that because I'm going to guess...
Yeah, so basically it counts as 66.
Yeah.
What's your law? Your law Adeptus Terra. As in LORE.
Oh, I see. 55.
Right, so you fail by 1 success level.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But I'm using your willpower in some way.
And you can switch that around because you've got advantage from Bobbie.
68 then.
Don't we
48.
gain benefit from the chainsaw as well?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So in that case, I'm down to... So that swaps to 68.
Yeah.
And I'm down, therefore, to 48.
Which is 1 success level.
Right.
Right, brilliant. And the rattling failed by a lot more than that. Okay. So therefore...
is there quite a puddle underneath the rattling?
So the rattling's very, very scared of having broken some laws. He's very scared that he's going to bring down the wrath of the Inquisition upon everybody, especially because the RBTs were there only the other week.
Right.
What were you trying to get out of him again?
I just want him to take us to the lost property room.
Oh, yeah.
Give us our stuff back so that we don't have to call in the...
Okay, brilliant. So Roger nods hurriedly and goes, "Oh, I have no idea who stole all your things. That's not something we do here at Roger Rattlingson's. It must have been that Roger Rattlingson. He's always doing things like this. He's a bad sort of rattling, he is.
Maybe we should fire him.
Yeah, we should totally fire Roger. He's terrible." And he leads you to an office. He leads you to an office marked Lost Property and opens the door.
Okay. How big is this room? And
It's quite small. Your stuff is obviously in the. Your stuff is obviously like in the. On the shelves. There's a small dog sitting on the shelf, patiently waiting, amongst loads of other things.
Can I do a perception check to spot anything particularly useful?
You can. Let's do a perception check, see what you get.
4.
4, that's pretty good. You spot a few things. You spot some additional. There's a lot of ammunition for some reason. The ratlings
Is
have
it
been
all
taking
got
lots of
arbiters marking?
There's some manacles from the local police force.
Manacles.
Yeah, you can take some of those. Yeah,
some of them.
You can take some manacles. There's quite a lot of ID cards. Sitting on the front, one of the next ones is an ID card for the Etapai Forge Complex under the name of Sven Svensson. So there's an ID card for that. And
I'll take that.
And there's an ID card for there's lots of like Arbeits standard like badges and ID cards and things like that, numbers. There's a bit of executioner shotgun ammo. There's some.
Take that.
Yeah.
Right. So are you two okay if I take a whole bunch of ID badges that might help me with some security checks at some point in the near future?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Of the ID, you get 6 ID badges. 4 of them are Arbeits ones. One of them is for the Sven Svensson from the Etapai Forge Complex, and one of them is a administratum flunky for the local waste disposal.
Okay, one times waste disposal.
Yeah. And your little dog is there. He hops down to greet you and does some yapping, because that's what your little yappy dog does. And then as you start to pack up all your stuff, you start to hear like a strange beeping, getting louder and louder from the direction of the main manufacturing warehouse.
Should we go down and have a look?
Yep.
Cool. As you come out the door, there is a colossal explosion and a wave of blue energy blasts out across the entire manufactorum. Rattlings are thrown everywhere. A deafening blast rolls across the floor. Corpse starch erupts into a huge cloud on the left side of the manufactorum, caves in. Your eyes sting with the afterglow of the blue energy. The manufactorum is in chaos.
Is there Roger Rattlington stood next to us?
There are loads of Roger Rattlingtons stood and laying dismembered next to you.
There was an explosion here this time.
Hey, they're all running around in a panic. The Rattlings are very, very worried.
Green hairy people.
So do a perception check.
I'll also join in.
Are you going to try looking around for perpetrators?
Yeah.
No, I'm over my perception.
I rolled a 3.
You see a green, hairy, loping shape run away down a side street.
So I point at the creature and
Yeah.
I tell my dog to follow.
Ah, very good. The dog lopes away after the green, hairy creature.
Yep.
How close are we to the Arbus Lighter? Because it's potentially, if they follow us,
like
the Arbus Lighter.
It's the other end of the warehouse. Yeah. So it's like 50, 60 meters. Yeah. You could go there, but you'd be going in different directions.
If you two chase, we've got Vox speed.
Alarms are going off now. The sweet smell of Juvo starch fills your nostrils.
Should we all chase? I want to start chasing, because otherwise
You two start chasing. I'm writing down a ticket for Roger Rogerson's, listing their failures very briefly. I will wax seal it onto the nearest rattling. Report to the.
Report to your local administrator.
No, to the report to the local confessor for flagellation. You have all failed the emperor greatly this day, and then I'll follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, I was thinking about running to the Arbus Lighter to then follow you lot in the Arbus Lighter, but I think that might just mean that we all get separated and it's all getting.
Well, you're also not the pilot, so.
Well, no, but I can pilot. I have a 40 in pilot, so.
You've got 40.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're pretty good, yeah. All right, you can find the button.
Exactly, I can find the button to go.
Button that says the go button.
Yeah.
But I think we're too far away from it, so I think we're just going to lose you. So I think I better just all run together.
Okay, so you all run after the
chase, yeah.
fleeing thing. So as you can see it in the distance, the little yappy dog's chasing after it. You can see it's sort of loping, like it's lopsided, like it's not got its legs are the wrong shape. It's covered in green hair. Can you take a athletics check, all of you?
Oh dear.
41.
Oh dear, this is going to be bad.
Very bad. 87, I've not kept up.
36 against 25, so I fail.
Okay.
Can I attempt, as this is obviously a hideous mutant we're chasing, can I attempt to frenzy to get my strength bonus up so I'm not so bad at chasing?
That's clever, isn't it? Okay, try and be frenzied by the presence of this hideous mutant.
Unfortunately, frenzy kind of means I might try and kill it when I get there. So it's a willpower. Hang on, let me just check my frenzy. Yeah, willpower test. So I got to roll under 30. I just barely failed my frenzy.
Okay, so you're not frenzy. So you just do a normal athletics check,
which is at disadvantage because of my armor being heavy. But I rolled a 2 anyway.
Oh, so you managed to catch up with it.
So that's a 20. Yeah.
So you get 20.
Disadvantage is a 20, but I would still pass that on athletics. Yeah, I'm 29.
Cool. How many skill success levels have you passed it by?
Is it 10? Is it a full 10 for success, or is it just any?
It's a full. It's the number of 10.
Okay, so it's one level.
Only one level of success. So you do. So the two of you fall behind, out of breath. Your bulky void suit stops you from chasing after them, Gary, and your slings full of mince pies stop you from chasing after them. And the wreckage. Bobbie gets the closest. So Theophania gets the closest, clambering after her. She manages to just keep up in time to see the green mutant disappear down a sewer grate into the Undercity. And just as that happens, the sound of sirens rings out and 3 massive RBT's repressors drive into the parking lot. RBT's deploy from them with shotguns at the ready, and you hear a loud hailed voice going, "RBT's, everybody get down. This is an arrest." That's what police would say, right? Raid, good. This is a raid. And everybody, thank you. Arbides, get down. This is a raid. Everybody on the floor. And as you run around in the alleyway, you're slowly surrounded by members of the Adeptus Arbites that I am just going to find in here should you choose to do something stupid.
I will also loud hailer back, so we're having a very loud conversation.
It's going to be quite important that they don't search me and find the
missing RBT's data tags.
And your illicit multi-tool and
my illegal multi-key.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm pretty authorised to have it, aren't I? I don't know.
So you find yourself in the alleyway, and slowly the RBTs start to surround you. They're like, "Put up your weapons, get on the floor."
Yeah, I raise my hands.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, right. You're just going to go for full surrender.
We're going to turn around and present ourselves as being on the same side. Yeah.
Okay.
I say I'm going to loud hailer back. Greetings, fellow servants of the Imperium. We are here on important Sanguinalan business.
Very important Sanguinala business.
Someone readies a stun grenade. They yell, "Get on the floor!"
Yeah, I'll get on the floor.
Whereabouts is the grate that the Grinch went into?
I'm going to say that the grate is like all the way up there. It's all the way up here, past 2 of the RBTs, and your dog has disappeared off after him.
Yeah, as it does.
We either need to run and jump down that grate or surrender.
Or which way?
I'm just going to copy you two.
It's run, fight, or surrender, everybody.
I mean, I think I might. If you two run, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, I think that's the best idea. We're not going to take on 4 RBTs.
I'm looking at them two looking like they're about to run, so I'm going to run.
Okay, so hold on. So we're doing.
I don't. Well.
Okay.
I don't really want to do any of those.
Well, I'm going to start the initiative process until you decide what you're going to do, because they're going to act.
Do they not respond to my?
They do not. They do not respond in any way to your vox hail. They just keep yelling for you to get on the floor. They are the RBTs. They will not be cooperating nicely.
I'm gonna. If you guys have already started surrendering, I guess I'm gonna very, very grudgingly start surrendering as well.
Okay, well, I'm not running on my own or I'll get shot, so I'll just surrender as well, I guess.
Okay, everyone's surrendering. So, as the first part of our Sanguinala adventure draws to a close, the 4 RBTs magnacle you to the side of their oppressors and put some hoods over your head. And the last thing you remember, for this half of the adventure at least, is being towed away, bashed along the side of an Arbite's riot truck. As you're taken into police
I thought we'd
custody.
get a chance to talk our way out of it. Whoops.
And that's the end of part 1 of our Sanguinalamus adventure. What will become of the Green Mutants? Who has been stealing Sanguinalamus? What does Roger Rattling actually do with all the stolen goods? Who knows? But we'll find out next time on whatever we're calling this game. Imperium Maledictum. Yeah! Thanks, everybody.
Bye.